This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 880 for the week of Monday, August 11th, 2025. It is SGS week, and that means my name is Steven.
My name is Greg.
And Simba is, well, he's actually not in the room right now. He's sleeping off his lunch out in the living room.
But what you're going to say, sleeping off his hangover.
I mean, it is, indistinguishable to a cat. But that is Simba, of course, is my cat. And the SGS, which we have modeled after Oda's SBS, is our special off week podcast where Greg here, who is a columnist for VJump, OnePiece.com, and series advisor for Netflix's One Piece series, and me, Steven, translator for One Piece in Shonen Jump and Manga Plus, break down the latest events and share our expertise. It's been a little it's been a little while. We missed a round or two of breaks, but here we are in the midst of summer. How is it outside right now? Because I've heard some.
Well,
things.
It was pretty good up until about a week ago, and then the entire country became an aquarium.
Yeah.
I walk outside and it's just you're immediately swimming. It's pretty bad. So I don't know what you've been up to, but it's been a week.
I did go to San Diego Comic-Con, which I talked about at good length on the podcast, which did include we attempted but failed to get into the 30th anniversary of Gundam Wing panel, which was going to have some of the dub voice actors. I don't know if General Septim was one of them. Probably not, but you could always hold out hope.
Does anybody know who his voice actor is? And I'm asking seriously because I don't think he was ever credited. I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I would not know. I would not know. It was it was 30 years ago, so
yeah,
a different era for the anime industry. But my wife was very happy to see all this stuff, and we did get some good Gundam Wing merch, so that was fun. Aside from that, not a lot of One Piece news. I think we're all kind of waiting for the One Piece Day that's going to come up later this month. I think they're kind of holding off on any big announcements or whatnot until then. So I don't really have any One Piece news to share, although it is at the time of this recording, it was like within the past 48 hours, let's say, we did get the announcement of the Akane Banashi anime is going to be coming out, my other series in Jump, which is a little bit, I wouldn't say overdue, but there are people who count down the okay, you're a Jump series and you've been going for X 100 chapters. Why don't you? It's like pressuring the the 27-year-old daughter. It's like why haven't you found a husband by now? Where's your anime? That's the way people get. But better late than never. It's going to be coming next year, so that's obviously exciting. I know there are definitely some fans among our listeners, so that's something to look forward to in 2026. Podcast news. We've been talking about it lately as well. The Patreon has a new tier, a new reward tier, where we are doing a sticker of the month club thing featuring designs from our album art, our episode art, which of course, Steve and all the other wonderful artists on the crew. You'll be able to vote between a couple choices every month, and then you will get the stickers sent to you. And if you're interested, I believe that is a $12 Patreon monthly subscription tier. So if that sounds like something up your alley, do give that a look. But yeah, with that, I think we can get into. We're gonna cover. Like I said, it's been a little while, and ideally, I would have liked to start at the beginning of this flashback that we're in, but it's been a few too many chapters, so we are gonna start with 1154 and go through 1155 and 1156. So why don't we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we will be right back with some manga recap. This is the SGS manga recap, where we will be covering chapters 11, 54, 55, and 56, the three most recent chapters. And we will be, so I guess, Greg, do you have a disclaimer that you want to give anyone before we dig into these?
Sure. Okay.
I'll put you on the spot. I had to listen to your barf story, so now you have to fess up.
All right. So I have read these chapters. I have not, by any stretch of the imagination, analyzed these chapters. So if I say something that you're like, oh, but Greg, it was mentioned here. Like, for example, here's the example I gave Stephen. It was like, yes, I think this is an interesting development, but if Blackbeard uses that power, then there's always an opportunity that, and then I talk for 5 minutes. And then at the end of that, Stephen is like, Greg actually said in this chapter that Blackbeard can't use that ability. Oh, right. Okay. So, the possibility of something like that happening is extremely high. So I do apologize for that if that happens, but I have not gone over these. I haven't even written about them for any column yet. So, apologies if I'm behind. Oh, actually, there is a little bit of One Piece news. Just mentioning that, I remember, and I know we're out of the news segment, but just a little
That's okay.
a bonus for you here is my, what is it, column or article? I forget which one. My online column will now be exclusively in English. So I got them to pull back on chaining me to Japanese, so I have to dumb down everything I write so I can actually understand it, because my Japanese is terrible. So now I can just basically write whatever I mean, within reason, whatever I want about any number of topics without having to worry about how I can describe it in another language. So that makes things a lot easier for me. So that will probably be going ahead from the next column, which I don't know, 203, 4, something like that. But yeah, that's due later in the month. So
nice.
I'm excited.
So that's so now you only have to do half the work, or maybe even less than half the work, if it's most of the brain power was going into trying to come up with the Japanese version. Yeah.
And I'm really curious if I can get sneaky and if I can write about stuff that like I shouldn't be writing about.
Ooh.
Because they don't read it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about that. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. That's neat. All right. Well, we will start with 1154. Here are my notes. The synopsis of this chapter. In chapter 1154, Elbaf is afflicted by a series of disasters which are blamed on poor baby Loki. The giants are turning on one another, and chaos seems inevitable when Harold returns triumphantly with ships full of food from friendly nations thanks to his diplomatic missions. Jarl speaks to Harold about the legendary band of giant shipwrights named Galela, supposedly held on ice somewhere. Hyrden and Loki grow older, one under the influence of a loving mother and one without. And after a failed suicide attempt, Loki happens across Rox D. Zebek, future father of Blackbeard. Oh boy.
So something funny about this name reveal here. It got fixed in the Viz edition, so nobody knows what I'm talking about here. But in the Japanese version, they wrote his name in English, and they wrote it just like in a alphabet barf. Rox D. Zebek. across,
Yeah,
and there's this
yeah, I
also
guess that's
this.
true.
If you're reading it digitally, there's this weird space between XE and Beck.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
that has nothing to do with anything. It's just spacing for printing, so it looks nice in printed form.
Yep.
But that doesn't change the fact that yes, they did just barf it onto the paper. Now normally they ask me about this kind of stuff, like, hey, what is the appropriate English spelling of this? And they ask even for simple stuff just to make sure that that to cross their T's and dot their I's. But of
Right.
course, recent One Piece production being what it is, this is the one time they completely forgot to check. And I immediately was like, "Hey, is this supposed to be Roxy Zibek just barfed out like that?" And they were like, "Oh no, we made a mistake. We're sorry. We'll fix it
Mm.
in the tankobon." I At this point, I'd be surprised if they even remembered to fix it in the volume. But we'll see
Yeah,
what happens.
yeah, we'll
Uh,
see.
and then like hilariously, like 2 weeks later or something, they asked me for like just like the simplest stuff, like, hey, are the Rocks Pirates called the Rocks Pirates? Like, are they called Rocks
Right,
Pirates? And it's just like,
right.
yes. What? How? I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing. So yeah, that's the Rocks Zebek backstory. But yes, there should be two dots in there in the Japanese version.
Yeah,
Around the
yeah.
J.
You see, right, right. Yeah, that's the Japanese nomenclature. And then I think actually, let me now that we are talking about this, I'm like maybe I should look at the English version. What did we end up getting with the text? Okay, yeah, it was spaced out, and you get the dot after the D.
Yeah.
But we still have the little sort of gutter gap, which is just kind of, I mean, it's going to be in the tankobon to make sure you can actually read both sides of it when you
Yeah.
open the book. So it's going to stay that way in the digital too. But
Yep.
um, yep. Just the casualties of the way that Oda chooses to produce the 2-page stuff these days. Um, Man, what a cool reveal though. I have my issues, and I did talk about this with the other guys about the design of Zebek, where I just thought he was a little too edgy, but I did love, like, I for whatever reason I just was not expecting this to happen at all, or I thought he was gonna, if he was gonna bring rocks in, it was gonna be more of like a tease this or that, but then to just like boom, right, just kind of out of nowhere. Plus father of Blackbeard, that was a great 1-2 punch.
You and I discussed this a little bit
Mm,
privately, and you brought up an excellent point, which is, narratively speaking, this instantly creates an aura and purpose for the character that Oda doesn't need to write a thing, because of this, as a result of this relationship, and what we've learned about Rocks thus far, we immediately know we immediately have a connection to this character, and that is a very astute point.
mm-hmm.
I also think it's a great way to create that story from Oda's perspective. But I cannot of the many things that I do not like about One Piece, and I think were poor choices based on this will make a great impact and look really cool, rather than this will make perfect sense in my story. This
Mm-hmm.
is one of the worst things and worst decisions I think he's made in making him look identical to Blackbeard.
Yeah, there's definitely some, like, I get it from a visual standpoint, but yeah, there's a lot of like, did nobody ask any questions or notice anything about this before? Sort of a thing.
Pardon my French, but I am extremely passionate about this point. It was fucking stupid of Oda to make him look
Mm.
like Blackbeard. And the reason for this is because of the scene we see with Blackbeard eating at what is heavily implied to be Marijoa,
Mm-hmm.
with the other Shichibukai, well, most of the other Shichibukai, surrounded by top level Marines in the literal maw of Im.
Right. Right.
And they allowed him to be in that position and then did nothing. Now, I'm not talking about normal Marines being like, oh, we got to catch this guy, because I get it that like Rox is supposed to be this legendary thing that was erased from history, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yes.
That makes sense. But for if you were to tell me that the Goros, the Elder Stars, who have we know to have long lives, and there is absolutely no fucking way they would not know who Zebek is and what Zebek looks like.
Yeah.
To take his doppelganger and make him allow him to be in the Shichibukai, and then not even use that as leverage to try and capture him when they have him at their whim. And for them to not inform Imu of this, and Imu having shown violence toward this character by throwing the knife into his wanted poster, it is a horrible choice, and it makes his villain look terrible. It is one of the only other time I think Oda failed this much with a villain in making them look weak is with Hody Jones. When he left the sailors alive and with the weak excuse of like, oh, I want somebody to tell the tale of how strong I am. Okay, Hody. And then further going on to skewer Vanderdecken and not kill him at all, not go for a lethal shot, even though he was trying to kill this individual. That completely ruined Hody for me, and that does this to him as well. For me, I have to qualify that for me, because it makes him seem incompetent. We know that he wants to get Teach for some reason, and he is violent towards, or she is violent towards Teach for some reason. And yet that opportunity was completely wasted. The elders did not tell Im about this. Imu did not say, oh, look, Blackbeard's literally eating at our table in Marijua, surrounded by other Shichibukai who we could tell to take him down in that instant, and Marines, and we still do nothing? Nah. And it only got worse as the chapters went on, and we learned that, Zebek made his way into the chambers of him. It's just you wouldn't, because you could make the argument, oh, maybe he would forget him, maybe he didn't know it. You're not going to forget the one person that manages to do that. The face of that person, there's no way. And I'm sorry to go off on a spiel, but like thinking about how he creates his story, you know that he picked this design because of the impact it would have on that last page where he's laughing. And it does. It has a massive impact. It's like, whoa, it's a holy shit moment until you stop and think about it for more than 3 seconds. And it's an absolutely horrible choice. I saw a couple arguments that were like, well, maybe in the manga world, they don't look identical. Like maybe it's just so that readers can understand it. I get that argument sometimes, but you don't do that for the readers. Why would you do that? Just draw them how they're supposed to look then. It's a weak argument in my opinion, but I gotta stop talking about this. It's frustrating me.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that would require, I think, in order to kind of smooth out those very admittedly very rough edges, and to like kind of to make all the characters' actions feel logical to a degree, or at least to cover up, the illusion, to create that illusion that like this was all, this all makes sense. This wasn't, we didn't just make this up piecemeal, and oops, like these details no longer match. He's going to have, it's going to require some very, very deft, like sort of behind the scenes, like writing of like, well, this is what happened with, the 5 elders and Imu at this time, to explain why they didn't do, or why they didn't seem to react in a different way. And to be fair, I mean, we only see them at a few very, very rare instances, and he could invent any number of scenes or scenarios where you could say, oh, well, actually they had this conversation at this time, or in this year they were talking about this, and he can maybe come up with something that retroactively works for it. But I do agree that it does smack very heavily of like, oh yeah, I didn't have this planned when Blackbeard was, hanging out in Mary Joa. This all of these details came later when I was designing, when I was fleshing out Zebek, and oops, like I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Nah. I did give it some thought because I do like to uh devil's advocate myself. I thought, how could he explain it? And an in-universe, maybe not satisfying, but acceptable explanation would indeed be if somebody was present at God Valley with, oh God, Pudding's powers,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and um, him being present in a conduit body. If
Mm-hmm.
the individual with those memory powers had the capability to wipe the memory of how this individual looked, and if affecting the conduit affected him itself, then okay, I can agree with that.
Mm.
But otherwise, it doesn't make sense that he would look exactly the same and they wouldn't recognize him.
Mm.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to rain on everybody's parade. Like I know a lot of people were excited about that, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool" for a second, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, no, hold on. Why? If he looks exactly the same, then why would all of this been allowed?" Nah. So yeah, that's our Zebek.
Yep.
That's
There
our
he is.
Zebek. Oh, what are your thoughts on the buggy theory?
That if you put a piece of paper down the middle and you look at one side and the other side, uh, I
Are they brothers?
that I don't think so. I don't want it to be true. I just think
Okay.
that I just think that would be, I don't know if putting a hat on a hat is the right phrase for that, but it just does it feels like going overboard. But my pithy comment on that would be that for this is like the equal opportunity thing for male characters now in One Piece, where like whenever you see a new a woman, especially one who existed earlier in time, like you don't see everybody starting up their theories about like, oh, is this Nami's mom? Is this Nami's mom? Because it's widely understood that everyone has Nami face because Oda has a more limited range of female characters that he draws. And I do feel like the buggy thing is just coming from like, yeah, that's just one of Oda's faces. Like that's just one of his sets of features that have a particular style to them. And it just so happens that he drew that with Buggy once among probably some other characters. Yeah, I just feel like that's people looking for stuff to theorize about. I am very skeptical in the extreme.
I'll tell you why I like it and why I don't like it. I
Okay.
don't like it because I'm already sick and tired because of this reveal. And this is another thing I'm not crazy about the reveal for, is everybody of note being related to somebody of note.
Yes, absolutely.
I am not super behind the Luffy is a chosen one trope kind of thing. I it still doesn't bother me because pretty much
Hmm.
everything that Luffy has gained, he has gained because of who he is personality wise. And that's why I don't fully buy even to the point where Shanks admired him as a child, is because
Hmm.
Luffy is who he is and he says the things he does. He
Right.
does the things he does. So that it, it's easy to see that as a surface level fan, but when you really dissect the series, it's Luffy is who he is because of his personality. The
Hmm.
fruit did not make him; he made everything that has come to him. Um,
Right.
but but everybody being related to somebody who was somebody is really starting to annoy me. In addition to
Yes.
being lied to about character names, um, I'm kind of sick. I'm over it, Oda. Oh, we just didn't know this person was related to this person because they're using a different name. Wow. Um, I mean, another thing with the Blackbeard thing is like Whitebeard didn't know. When he was a
Yeah.
kid, when he
Well.
joined, okay, but when he was an adult, like he didn't like realize when he hit puberty, like wait a minute, uh,
Yeah.
um, now you can make the argument for Whitebeard that he was like, nah, I'm gonna give an opportunity and I want to redo things, make things right. What I couldn't do with
Right.
the with the father, I'll do with the son. You can easily make that for Whitebeard, but still,
Hmm.
it remains. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm so tired of it, and that's what I don't like. But I really, really do enjoy the idea of Buggy possibly being his brother. Um, I believe they're within a year of age of each other. Um,
Mm.
I don't entirely know if birth locations would pan out properly. But it would be hilarious to me because it would just be another case of Buggy failing upward, and getting more credit where, where credit is not due, which is just perfect for him. That's why I would enjoy it, because it would be more of a gag than anything about Buggy's real ability. Um,
Yeah, that's true. It would just serve to enhance his legend among like the people who don't know what he's actually like.
Steven, can you fucking imagine if by the end of it, all of his followers, it's just like, oh, and he's the brother of wait, God, Blackbeard. He's the Blackbeard, son of Rocks, Boogie Sama.
Hmm.
He would be set for life. He wouldn't have to do a thing. I mean, he's already riding high from the Impel escape and being a former member of
Yeah.
Roger's crew.
Yeah.
God, that would be hilarious. So yeah, I'm for it for that aspect. But if it turns out like I don't know, because of this he has some amazing power that Sokol Chikara that he can like pull out. No, thank you. Um,
Yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was we're still talking, quote unquote, we're still talking about 1154, but in the most recent chapter, because we see all these rocks pirates and they're more than one of them bears a notable uh appearance similarity to other characters in the present day. So like there's a lot of potential parentage going on, and I was making the point just this past weekend that like like sure you've got this vast history, and so that's one of the things that you can do is you can call upon that to draw connections between these characters and make the world seem more dense and more interesting. But like the more that you do it, the diminishing returns kick in, and it's just like, well, this is no longer special. Like the surprise reveal that so and so is so and so's father. You can only do that so many times before it just starts to lose all of its novelty and its power and stuff. And
yeah,
so I would hate to see that overused and then like none of it feels special anymore.
it to me it already kind of doesn't. Um, which
Mm-hmm.
is a shame. But this reveal kind of soured me.
Mm.
Not just some people are, is it just because he's not dragon? Are you upset it wasn't dragon? I had this whole convoluted theory about how it could possibly be dragon. Um,
Mm.
no, I'm happy to be wrong. I like it when I am wrong in the series because I am surprised, and I was happy for a second, and then like I said, I thought about it, and but that's my
Mm.
story, and I'm sticking to it. I'll call in Quinn this one. Um,
All right.
what's that meme? The guy sitting at the table with the coffee cup in his hand. Changed my opinion.
Oh yeah, on the campus, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't really think about that stuff with Blackbeard in Mary Joa, but that's also just because I'm like, well, I don't know where this flashback is going. I don't know what the outcome of this stuff is going to be. And maybe there's still something that will put some of this into perspective, but it's just more that like, I haven't gone back and reread old material to even notice or think about that stuff in the couple weeks that we've had this information. So part of it is just like, oops, I didn't even really consider that angle.
See, that's why we're perfect for this. At the start of this whole thing, I said I haven't really read these chapters at all.
Yeah, right.
And meanwhile, Steven's like, I live in these chapters.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've got the past. Steven's got the present. Together, we make sort of a brain. So
yeah. Speaking of the past, what was your first thought when you saw this Gareira thing?
Oh, so my first thought was, well, that's definitely where they got the name Galila from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was definitely inspired by them. But okay, complete honesty, and I get to toot Steven's horn here. Is my first thought was, what the fuck is Steven going to do with this?
Yeah, that was my first thought too. What the fuck is Steven going to do with this? Yeah, because of course, he did that tricky thing where it's like, okay, well, he instead of using the bar to extend the vowel, he just used the E, which is basically the same thing. It's essentially the same sound in Japanese, but it's distinct. And it's just like, okay, there is no way that Oda forgot that was the name of the thing from Water 7. So clearly he's doing something here, but he's being real tricky about it. And yeah, I'm glad I'm glad I didn't really see any like overt confusion among the readership. It seems like most people kind of got that, like, okay, that seems like suspiciously similar, and people were trading the story on like, okay, that's probably like what Galela was inspired by or based on or something. So I think we passed that test, but deciding how to spell that or what to do with it was a bit of a quandary, and so I just did Galleila instead of the galley dash law, and that seems to do the trick. So,
and if anybody's listening,
I can't imagine any other author doing a word trick like that, where he doesn't explain that, like, oh, this is it's related to this other thing that you probably recognize already. Like only Oda would be like, oh yeah, they'll have to deal with it.
Yeah. If anybody's listening, I don't think I completely explained my thought, but it's the reason this is so difficult and why Stephen had a problem with this, because it's written out in kanji, and Galila was always written out in katakana, but it's a specific term, and therefore each character conveys a meaning, which makes it very difficult to make it have the same meaning and then also be Galila at the same time, understood as Galila at the same time. Right. So it's quite a difficult situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thank you. It's kind of interesting too that again, I'm not sure, like I remember, so obviously I think by this point everyone has come to the conclusion, because it seems very clear that these are the guys that are frozen in Punk Hazard, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't remember in Punk Hazard, and I did not go back and look, but I don't remember them stating that they were like, obviously some of them were very large. So it was the arc with the big children. So, you can kind of put two and two together. But like, I remember seeing, it felt like there was a variety of sizes, and it didn't necessarily seem like they were all supposed to be giants. And I don't know if that was a retcon that Oda, kind of set up this group, and then here he figured out what he wanted to do with them, or if that was all there and he just kind of omitted that particular detail the first time around. But that one kind of struck me, where I was like, oh, okay, so I guess now we're saying that these are definitely all giants, because I did not have that impression initially.
I felt that they were all big because when you see the group running through the hallway, they
Right.
are quite tiny. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now, where there's a little bit of questionable material here is were they all giant size or were some of them big person sized?
Mm-hmm.
I think you could, I think, and this is without it in front of me. I have the books right here. I'm looking at them, but I'm not going to pick it up. I want to
Mm-hmm.
do this from memory. Um,
Okay.
I'm not going to cheat. I think you can make the argument that all of them are giants, but some of them definitely look like big people. And I think maybe some of that is from an assumption of the fact that these were prisoners. I mean, we were told that they were prisoners, and they're all wearing prisoner attire as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's a little bit of we maybe assume because of the scenario and the situation that some of
Mm-hmm.
them were big person sized. So I think that's a little. What is it? Like a visual Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
but uh, yeah, it feels at this point it feels right, and the reason for that being in the previous arc we had uh, the the line from the Sea King about we have to wait for that Ichizoku, I don't know, that those people, um
Mm.
when they come back, they'll be able to fix it. That feels
Mm-hmm.
very good to me. The antithesis of the Blackbeard. It's almost a
Mm-hmm.
perfect setup. And Oda was very careful to make sure that the shadowy figures that he drew were also pretty much identical to the same position that the characters are, the giants are on the page, in the
Yes.
Punk Hazard, which was clever of him to do.
Yes. Yes. People definitely picked up on that. Like the big guy in the background with the grimace. Like you can easily
The
see him in
Frankenstein,
the.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody was looking at the big a big fellow on the right, and I think they didn't see the image quite proper, and it's like they're like, look, it's Zunisha. They're like, it's a Zunisha in here, but it's just like the perspective and how you're looking. If you look at it the right way,
Uh-huh.
you can totally tell that it's just a giant person, a large person. But yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
but yeah, that's cool. So we got that story. We're gonna get some ancient judge, which is interesting because then they'll have information. Yeah, they'll have knowledge of that time period, so they can share that.
Yeah. Another another potential source of answers to stuff.
Yep.
Since we didn't get anything from Toki
No.
during Wano. Um. Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else about this chapter? I think everything else is pretty much just Loki and Hyrodin and uh you know nice I think he did a really good job of kind of threading the needle of showing the reasons to pity Loki,
Mm.
while also understanding how he can be a menace to everyone around him, in order to kind of set him up for the kind of uncomfortable position that he exists in today as far as Elbaf is concerned.
He's done an interesting. I mean, the previous. I think it was the previous chapter where it's the baby the newborn climbing up the tree.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant, brilliant job. Bravo, Oda. You hit me right in the feels. Um, he's done something clever with him, and it's on purpose. And I don't know if he's presenting it, if he's consciously doing it or subconsciously doing it, but we did not see Loki's eyes up until this flashback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What other character has he done that with?
Doflamingo.
Do fucking Flamingo.
Yeah.
To date, we have not seen Doflamingo's eyes, and the one chance that we had, the one opportunity where he's having that daymare flashback,
Yeah, right.
hallucination,
There's the
he
close
had,
up.
yes, he had his glasses off, and then we pull back and we see his hands over his eyes, and then he puts his glasses on. And we have not seen the moment he takes his glasses off, we see his humanity.
Right.
And that
right.
makes him a character who is probably capable of redemption. Mm-hmm. To date, we have not seen him do that, which is super interesting. In the entirety of the series, I mean, there are characters who he has design choices that are side characters who just have glasses or something, but they're not like major villains who have done that kind of thing. Meanwhile, as a child, we did see Loki. We did see his eyes, which is showing us that there is humanity. There is a chance in there to love a fellow human being, a fellow, even a small human being. And we got to see that. It's in there. It may not quite be there in the form we'd like it to be now. And I still think that Loki is going to be plenty of trouble. If he's not, then he's not Loki. But what we do see is that it's in there. Seeing his eyes shows us physically the heart of gold. It shows us the humanity and that there is something in there. Which raises the question to me, will he ever do that with Doflamingo ever?
Yeah, I do kind of doubt that. I mean, maybe who knows? You can never say never, but Doflamingo's time, at least for now, seems to have passed. But it's kind of notable that you see him as a baby in this chapter, where he's trying to break into into mom's room and has to get carried off, and then they put the wraps on him, and he looks like just a mini me version of the present day Loki. And then it's not until he jumps off the tree at the very end, kind of doing a little Kaido there, and winding up back on the ground, that then you see, like the bandages are off again, and you see his eyes, and once again he's crying. Like it is a state of pure emotion where, like it was clearly very important, I think, for Oda to depict that emotion on his face, so that you can really feel what he's going through. So it's like he specifically reserves it for the moments when like it's most meaningful to Loki's development to see his eyes.
Yes, it's entirely on purpose. And if we ever see his eyes as an adult, then it's done. He's going to be helping everybody out. We already know he's going to help out in some way, but probably not until after he hinders things. It's not going to be an easy road. But he will do the right thing when it's absolutely necessary. Don't even know if that will be in this arc or not, but yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next chapter?
Let's.
These are all, I mean, they all kind of flow into one another here. So 1155, we see Rox confront Emu in the Chamber of Flowers. He says that he will return. Following that, Rox and Harold have a chaotic encounter in Mary Joa, which enamors Rox to Harold's strength, much to Harold's chagrin. The Rox crew is introduced as having been assembled via Davy Backfight. Very interesting callback. Their big plan is to take over the riches of Pirate Island and use that as a stepping stone to taking down Mary Joa. And while Harold wants nothing to do with this plan, of course, Loki is fascinated with Rox's power and ambition. Yeah. A little mirror world Luffy here. Of being inspired by the great big pirate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like once again seeing this, because it's like it's hitting it so hard. Because we've got the little boy I forget his name. Gabon's son.
Yes.
Colon.
Koron, yeah.
Can I just call him asshole? Can I just?
Yeah, that's why I call him Collun, Collun, because I didn't want to call him,
I do it lovingly.
Yeah,
colon. Little
What's
colon
the
chum.
joke in Futurama? Oh yeah, we changed the name of that planet. Now we call it Eurectum instead of Uranus. Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. So once again, just doing it, the mirror imaging of the child, and
Mm-hmm.
seeing it constantly with Luffy too, right? I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
why part of that giant thesis on the end of One Piece that I wrote, like I spent so much time
Right.
writing about like all the children that we see. Like if One Piece does have a continuation, it's going to be that Sedai, that
Right. The
generation
generation. Yeah.
that saw Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
Oda really has a thing for that, for displaying that kind of influence,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine, I guess. But again, it's a bit predictable. I just loved the Don Marlin.
Yeah.
I mean, like not even hiding
Yeah.
it a
Yeah.
bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun. Somehow I have a feeling he's not going to be one of the more memorable characters of this crew. Just a thought, just a hunch.
I mean, you never know, right? It's probably going to be Don Creek's
Yeah.
father or Beige's father or something like that.
Yeah.
Gonzi was cool. Okay. Gonzi is a super giant, right? Like I don't know if he's an ancient giant, but he's a giant, right?
Is he?
Because the zombie was also a giant, was he not? The elephant zombie. He's like, it wasn't a full elephant, but like his lower half. I'm
He
pretty
was
sure he was huge
larger.
because he did that like attack on them, and it was like he had these huge fists. I'm pretty sure he's very large.
Yeah, I mean he is the guy in the background of
He's
this kind
always
of
in the background.
feast shot. Yeah. He is kind of the Frankie of the group. He's the big Hulk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, that was kind of cool seeing that again. Also, did you know this? It was, I forget, was it? I think it was an SBS. Um, the four-armed gunman from Thriller Bark.
Right.
Do you see that? That's a Gil
Uh
Baster.
yes, from the one shot.
That's insane.
Uh yeah.
That's
Did
absolutely
people know
cray cray.
that, or did they ask him that or something, or
So
did
the
he
guy
just
who
like
sent it in, the guy who sent in the
yeah.
question was, oh god, that he's one of the like the One Piece knowledge
The
kings.
money, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The one with glasses, who never shows his face. He sent it in, but I have doubts about the fact that like he arrived at that on his own. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's been like working with the series so much that like I can't help but wonder if he heard that from a source.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's pure, if we're able to say it was purely something that they came about on their own, because it's a
Uh-huh.
lot to go on by. What do they share in similarity is a
The
hat and a
hat.
gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But either
Yeah.
way, it's very cool of Oda to do that. Also silly, but I do like seeing that. This is like the reverse of my Blackbeard and Zebek criticism. It's cool to see Oda utilizing his characters that way, and that we got to see that Morio was actually going after some seriously tough people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
baller. That's really cool.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like that part of the tying the historical figures together. That is more interesting than just
Mm.
the whose parents of who.
Otherwise, about this chapter, not too much.
Yeah, we do seem to. It does seem to confirm, given the timeline, that Gunko is under the same the age dealy as the elders, which I guess we could have inferred already since she was in Brooks' flashback, right?
Yes.
But we definitely see her here for sure because of the eyes.
Oh, actually, you know what? There is one thing about this. Okay.
What's that?
Did you see how Oda has been posting image. He's been kind of like playing with the idea of
The
everybody
doll?
who's the doll. Did you see when he placed it at his
Uh-huh.
desk? Did you see that?
Yes, I saw that picture. Hmm.
Okay. And did you see some of the analysis that went into that picture?
I saw you posted like the little blurry close up of random sketch on the side of the desk sort of thing.
Yes. All
Yeah,
right.
I did not zoom in to like take a look at it for myself, but I believe I know what you're about to say.
Okay. Um. So I think we for the longest time, I was trying to. I had the idea that Im was a female. I just have a
Hmm.
feeling, and I was referring to Im as a female for a little bit, and then it got to the point where I think we learned about oh god, I was gonna say Netoro, but it's not. That's fucking Hunter x Hunter.
That's Hunter Hunter.
Nerona.
Right, right.
Yeah,
The
Nerona.
family name. Hmm.
Yeah. And we got to learn about that, and it was, what did they use? They used say, right? And like the saint, and that's,
Oh, yeah.
to this point, has been used for males as a male
Right.
moniker for
The Celestial
the celestial
Dragons.
dragons.
Yeah.
And
And then Goo was
thank
female,
you.
right?
Gu is
Yeah.
female. Yeah. Um, which is interesting. It suggests at least some point in history, Imu did have a male body, but is the current body of Imu a female body? This
Mm,
ties back into what I said about, does the abomination change bodies? Is it able to change and take different body forms? Uh, is this Lily? Is the
right.
current body of Imu Lily? And if it
Mm,
is, what does that suggest about who had the Ope Ope fruit and how it was utilized? Um, there are a couple iterations you can get into. I think I posted one of mine on Twitter. I went down a tiny rabbit hole, but I don't know if I posted the whole deal, but um, uh, it has some interesting implications. It that blurry image, if you look at it the right way, and if you look at the cape the right way, it does look like it could be a female figure. Um, that
mm,
and there's no definite confirmation that that was Im anyway, but I will eat my shorts if that was not Im. I'm not saying if it was a female or not, but like if that blurry picture on the desk was not Im, because Oda does that all the time. He is a sucker for that. He can't not
mm.
avoid doing that kind of thing. Because he did the same thing for Kaido for the One Piece newspaper. That was the first place where we actually learned that Kaido's like central crew would be king and queen.
Mm,
If you
hmm.
zoomed in on this tiny, tiny little photo, there was a shred of paper that had those names written on it. Um,
Ah,
yeah. So, but anyway, that was the only other thing about this chapter. I because I think it was around this time that they posted that. So,
yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. It was a week or two back. Cool. All right. Well, in that case, let's move on to the most recent chapter, 1156. In this chapter, Schoolyard crushes abound in the heyday of Roger's generation. As Gloriosa loves Roger, Roger loves Shaki, Shaki loves Rayleigh, and Garp and Roger love to fight. Meanwhile, on Elbaf, Loki continues to sulk and rejects Ida's attempts to be motherly before finally setting off to sea. The Rocks pirates have taken over Pirate Island and are making the joint their own. We hear vague references to Rox's devil fruit plans, but the main point is that Elbaf is key to taking down the Holy Land. So, yeah, it felt like there was a lot of kind of retread because he couldn't get through all the characters the first time, so we kind of had to do a second introduction or rundown of the crew in this, and have another posing panel where they're all looking cool. There it definitely felt like, okay, I think we just did this. on the
I
second
would
half of the
say I
chapter.
think that the reason it's important here is because I believe that we're supposed to take this as like the full crew. Like this is it. This is when we saw
Mm-hmm.
the spread of the Straw Hat Pirates at Wano, and like that was the Straw Hats. I believe
Mm-hmm.
it's similar for this.
Yeah, I mean, you got the subtitle there, so that you would hope that that would represent the whole thing.
This was actually this is where they
Rocks
asked me about it. They were like,
Pirates,
"Is it
right?
spelled Rocks Pirate?"
Yeah, yeah.
Um, let's see.
Kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what I mean. I guess maybe it's just because like they have the similar nicknames and everything, but this kind of like rivalry that he's building with Kyo and Shiki, where the golden line and the silver axe. Okay, so is it just like the again the funhouse version of Sanji and Zoro, where they're the two guys that absolutely
Yeah,
hate each other, and in this case they really do hate each other, sort of a thing, because they're both this is an interesting thing because I got questions about it, that both Shiki and Kyo are Gokudo, and I was trying to explain how I thread the needle here, because I translated that as mobster, because like you also have Don Marlin, who is like I think he was just a gangster. Yeah, he was a
yes,
gangster from the West Blue, and these are Gokudo. And I was kind of trying to explain to the listeners that like Gokudo is basically Yakuza. It's Yakuza with a different connotation. It's a more honorable portrait of the Yakuza, one who masters the path, or whatever, however you interpret the kanji. But that it is still basically the same thing. It's referring to like organized crime, sort of a thing. But I didn't want to use the word Yakuza simply because like we have all those characters on Wano, and I have no idea if Shiki and Kyo have any relation to them. I don't know if they're from Wano. I don't want to complicate matters by like making people make assumptions about where they're from and how they might fit into the story of Wano, and et cetera, et cetera. So I went with mobster instead. But interesting choice. I was definitely kind of side eyeing like, what are you implying here, Oda? I don't know if you had any thoughts about that.
I mean, you could have just called him General Silver.
It's like a Dragon Ball thing.
Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
yes. God damn,
He has the same hair too,
he
doesn't he?
he
Oh,
has the same
Jesus.
fucking he has glasses and
Oh, boy.
facial features, if we can put it that way.
Okay.
It's just like
If he sees a mouse and like shrieks, then we'll know. All right. Then we'll know it's a real homage. Oof.
um it was General Silver, right? Yeah, he was the Schwarzenegger looking dude.
Yeah, I know who you're thinking. That might not have been his name, but
Okay.
I knew what you were going for.
Okay.
Um,
I think there's a plot
pretty.
hole here. Somebody messaged me about it and they were like, "Wait a minute. Um weren't those holes there in the rock when Kaido was a little kid?" Because I think there's a flashback where Kaido is like a child and he's on Kaizokujima, and
Oh. Hmm.
it has the holes already opened up. So,
Oh.
again, it's another
Hmm.
case of Oda being a little bit too ambitious with his
Mm-hmm.
ideas. Um, yeah, plenty of leeway there. Um, given that it's a 20-year-old. I mean, that's not a huge deal, right? But still.
No.
Oh my God, though. I'm sorry, a completely different topic, but to go off on this whole thing, like building up Gloriosa, just build up, build up, build up, and then to fucking throw her immediately in the trash with with Shaki.
Shaki.
Oh my God, that was so good. Oh, that was so.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great build up. Um, uh, and then of course there's Luffy's mom. Wait, what?
Okay, yeah, that's right. You said before this that you were on board with the Luffy's mom train with Tritoma.
I'm completely on board.
Oh boy. All right.
Largely because there was a couple SBSs back where we got to see a sketch of the character, and I was like, oh, okay. Um, and then she's just kind of thrown in here, and
Mm-hmm.
I completely it, it is a red herring of red herrings. Um, to take a character who is super duper important and to show them as a somewhat clumsy, um, panicked, even you could say ugly looking in this very first image that we see, because she's sweating, she's looking up, and she's got this kind of like look. That is so classic of Oda, to depict someone who's going to be important later on, in this kind of way. So we have this image of them. It's just like, oh yeah, there's, oh, that's cute. Like, oh, look at them, they're trying really hard. Um, uh, that really kind of seals the deal for me, because of how he goes out of his way to depict her this way. Also,
Hmm.
like how she's just name dropped there, because Oda has to write this as if nobody's reading
The SBS.
the SBS, and just immediately like Tori 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 Toma Tori. I was going to say Tori Tomato. Tori Toma Tritoma. Immediate name drop, and it's in a single bubble, so that we know that it's important, followed by a name box. And yes, he has to do the name box just to like remind us of who she is, but like
Mm-hmm.
the whole point is he wants that name to stick. Like, why didn't he just write it all in the smaller font, in a single line, as it should be, just straight vertical Tori Toma in one straight line?
Mm.
Why did he specifically make it stand out like this, and yet make it stand out, but also try to make her not stand out? I just, I don't know. If we go back to the 2000, God, what was it, 2001, 2002 interview with Oda for American Shonen Jump, we
Mm-hmm.
learned that he thought at the time that yes, Luffy's mom is still alive, but she's probably like an Obasan right now. Um, that obviously his thought for that character turned into what Dadan became. And so for the
Mm-hmm.
longest time, it was very easy to make the argument that like Luffy's mom would never show up, um, even if she was a fleshed out character in the world. It's just like she was either dead, or maybe she didn't, because it became Dadan, and Dadan was obviously not Luffy's biological mother.
Right.
So did he go the complete opposite direction and be like, no, not only is she actually not Obahan material, she's actually the Empress of Kuja, um, which would be classic, a classic Oda move. And yeah, for a dragon to have had a fling with her, the most wanted man in the world, seems completely appropriate. And I believe we're supposed to think that she's dead, right? She passed away.
She's stated to be dead in the SBS,
She
which
is,
again,
yeah. Sabo, thank you.
who
Um,
knows, right?
fuck off, Oda. Fool me once, something something. Now she could totally be dead. But the fact remains that at one point he said that Luffy's mom is alive. Maybe she is not, but I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that she has preserved herself and she's snuck off, maybe to be involved with the
The
revolutionaries. I think
revolutionaries,
there's
yeah.
a plenty fine chance of that. Maybe it would be funny if Robin is actually privy to that information. But I don't think we've seen anyone that could be her, at this point. Maybe you can take a rando
Right.
revolutionary in the background at some point, but yeah, um, she is stated to be dead, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Um, can you imagine Luffy? I have a mother. Idiot.
I mean, yeah, he did it with his dad, so
Yeah.
yeah. I do like to. I think it is funny. Speaking of like Gloriosa getting immediately, shunted aside,
Yeah.
is the like she's shown here being obsessed with Roger, right? So like,
Yes.
but then we also know from the other what was it, in the Kuma flashback, when we see the little glimpse of the Rock's part. We don't see Rocks, but we see the rest of his crew, that Gloriosa was there. And wasn't she fighting with the original Stussy over Whitebeard, I want to say? Like they were like, like sitting on the shoulders, and like they were
Yes.
bickering over Whitebeard. So like the image that you get is just that, despite being beautiful, at least at this point in time, that she's she's just always been extremely unlucky and like overlooked and very misfortunate, which
Yes.
is funny. It's such a funny characterization to think of her like and looking like this at the time.
Yes.
It's great.
Oh man. One of his better gags, and it feels completely fresh too. I do love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you think so? I don't know. This was just me.
Okay.
And I apologize for the listeners, because probably not, maybe one person will know, or maybe they've seen the pictures if you've ever posted them. So like this page, the page where you see the full the full length look at Shakuyaku, and on the top she's kind of doing the like she's teasing Roger with her finger under his chin. She's saying like, I will belong to no one. And there's the sparkles in the air and everything. I did not parse at first that like she had given, or he had gotten a lump on his forehead. And at first I thought he looked like the Ochimusha character. Because you just see the lock of hair behind this big lump, and it just looked like, oh, he's got this weird, like he's bald on top and he's got the little scraggly hair.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, that was a
good call.
That was a Shimura-ken bit, right? That was his character.
Oh, that was a Ochimisha was Gori.
Gori. Okay.
Gori from oh god. They were just on TV. They were just doing like a 30th anniversary like routine or something like that. He also did Gorie. You remember Gorie-chan?
It sounds familiar. But I'm not summoning.
Because Shimura-ken did Henna Oji-san.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
And Bakatono and all that.
And
okay.
Bakatono. Yeah, Bakatono,
different comedian. But yeah. Just a play on the I don't know, the classic image of the the fallen warrior who is in a miserable state, and his hair is real goofy looking.
Yeah, he does look like that from
us. Yeah. From a certain perspective.
From a certain perspective.
Let's see. Was there anything else particularly interesting here?
There's one thing that I think I keep coming back to and then forgetting. She's got the angel wings.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting to see that she had, because in the present day they're black, right, on her her Sabaudi. Yeah. And I always associated that with her look, and it took me a little while, and I was like, oh, she does have the little wings on her coat.
There he is. That's what I wanted to talk about. The man of the hour, Streusel. You know how much I'm into my mom theory, for that mom isn't done, and that Streusel is going to be the real villain.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I know that you think that Mom and Kaido are gonna pop back out.
Yes. And wait, I've told you about my whole pudding thing, yes?
I'm not sure. Maybe you haven't. Maybe maybe
goodness
it
gracious.
will ring a bell if you start describing it.
So Streusel is one of the only people he's one of two people who knows what happened on Totland that day, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then what was the other one? Was like some random giant or something?
Some random giant, which means that some random giant on Elbaf also knows what happened that day. Interesting enough, we do not. We assume we know what happened, but we did not see what actually happened. Streusel we got one throwaway line from Beige, which was like, he's her cook, but if he was to fight, he might be a formidable foe. Uh,
Hmm.
and that was a throwaway line at the time, but I was like, nah, nah, fuck that. That's important. We got a he was a pretty big character in the time because he created the cake. Now he was also
Yeah.
presented as a comical character.
Hmm.
Um, but because I believe in mom, and we've talked about the Onajime Sen thing, right?
Yes, the same, everyone at the same eye level. Yeah.
Yes, how that was part of mom's dream, and how we've seen that come up with Ripley, and how Luffy is going to accomplish mom's dream. I see her being there at that moment and being a positive presence, not antagonistic, in
Mm-hmm.
other words. Um, and a lot of that has to come to can only come to be if it's revealed that Stroizen has been the one who has been manipulating mom and has turned her into this villain that she is. Um,
Hmm.
she is not a bad person. At her heart, she's not. What she wants is not a bad thing. Her dream is not a bad thing. It's how she's gone about it and the things that she's done in pursuit of it that are bad. And all of that has been influenced directly by Stroizen. Now, Stroizen, what power does he have?
It's to turn inanimate objects into food,
Into
basically.
food, you say?
Hmm.
Huh. Well, wouldn't it be interesting if there were a member of the Straw Hats who could possibly fight against food? Someone who was a master chef, perhaps? A master chef versus a master chef? Ah, but Greg, surely you say there are an equal number of Blackbeard pirates as there are Straw Hat pirates now. Surely nobody could replace that. Come in. 11 versus 10 would not be. Oh, but wait a minute. Who is the final member of the Blackbeard Pirates? Who is the most recent member of the Blackbeard Pirates?
Kuzan.
Kuzan? Wait. You mean Kuzan, who is the probably most friendly and reasonable of all the admirals who fought against the crazeballs Sakazuki to be head of the Marines and
Mm.
lost, then went his own path and is now going to great lengths to preserve the life of his mentor, who he's captured, and who also probably is aware of Sword and the fact that Sword exists, but is surely a full time member of the Blackbeard Pirates and will do anything to help them, no matter what, I'm sure. And wait a minute, didn't the Blackbeard Pirates recently successfully invade Totland and obtain pudding?
It's true.
Now, that's a really hard fucking thing to accomplish. How do you think they did that without a massive amount of help? Granted that he can warp, yeah, okay, we've got Augur who can do that, but that's still really hard. I mean, we went through an entire arc showing how hard it was for Luffy to accomplish that. Wouldn't it be interesting if they had somebody on the inside who was feeding them information who was actually a member of the Blackbeard Pirates currently? Wait a minute, why would he have loyalty to Blackbeard? Oh, only if he was a member of Rock's Pirates, who was the father. And because we know that he's a master manipulator and likes to leech off of people that are stronger than him, he knows that he's the son of Rocks and that he can leech off of him just as well as he leeched off his father. So my guess
Mm.
is that Stroizen is actually he's cooperating with the Blackbeard Pirates at this point, and that he will be revealed to have been a member of the Blackbeard Pirates, and that he's the reason they were able to get into the island, secure pudding, and knew about everything that of pudding's importance, of course. And when the time comes for him to be revealed as a villain, I think that he might be a matchup for Sanji in the final fights.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly, I think the rocks to Blackbeard angle is a very interesting one
Mm.
for Stroizen, simply because he would have been here with Big Mom at the
Yep.
time. So, ah,
I think he knows what Rox wanted. He knows what Rox was capable of, and I think he sees the same thing in Blackbeard. And this motherfucker has been a user his entire life of other people that are better than him. I do not doubt that he is going to be revealed to be at least a cooperative member on that side. And it's just, I'm sorry, I had this idea back in Totland of the final battle being over the cake, like making the cake, and like it's being this giant food battle. It did not turn out that way, but it did turn out to be about the cake. This is the opportunity to actually have that be the food battle. And what the crazy thing about this is that if he is food, if he uses food, then Sanji can use his fucking hands again. And how fucking cool would that be? If we get to see the final fight where Sanji can actually fight with his fists and his feet. Jesus fucking Christ, that would be so good. I'm sorry, I'm just really excited about that idea. As you can tell.
That would be good. That'd be great.
Yeah. So yeah.
And to think that we were joking that Streusen just looked like a little McNugget kid with his little hat on. And
looks like a
the
McNugget
evil
kid
that lurks within.
crossed with Hamburglar. McHamburglar?
Yeah. The mention of that definitely brought back like childhood memories where I was remembering them like dressed up in Halloween costumes for their Happy Meal toy promotions. Yeah, that's ancient times, kids. Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else worth bringing up here?
There's a lot going on in the chapter, but yeah, that's about it from me.
I don't even want to guess about what the I want 2 devil fruits, and one of them is it was in Elbaf, and Harold's going to eat it, and then he doesn't mention what the other one is. Just there's so many possibilities. I don't even want to start guessing. So I'll just wait to see what Oda has in store with that.
Yeah, I would be kind of bummed if it's exactly what Teach is going for. But I don't know. You do you, Oda. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I think that will catch us up to where we are in the present moment. Of course, we will have 11:57 back next week. Next week, once the double issue, the holiday break is over. But we do have a few, and I do mean a few, questions on social media. So I will just collect those up, and we'll knock those out. And I don't know, maybe there's I forgot to mention in the intro, I'm not sure if we have an anime recap for this one. I tried to feel out if Sam was going to record one. At this point, we are way ahead of schedule, so I don't know what his plans will be. But if there is an anime recap, we'll probably have it somewhere around here. But we'll go to break, and then we'll come back and answer a couple questions.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zach.
And my name is Steve.
And we're cutting in here on the One Piece podcast with a special series of news bulletins.
With the news.
With the news. That's what we're cutting in with. So, Steve, a few things happened just over this past weekend.
Yes.
Well, and by a few, I mean everything.
It was One Piece Day. Happy One Piece Day to all. Yeah. A 2-day event that happened a month later than it usually does.
Than it should.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a month, like 2-3 weeks, like a very random amount of time later.
What am I thinking? Yeah, it's usually like at the end of
the
July.
22nd,
I guess they couldn't book the venue that weekend.
Yeah, I don't know the logistics, but it happened, and I think the main takeaway, if I got this correct from Steve, is that Pirate Warriors 4 is getting a new, what is it?
Downloadable content.
DLC.
We're back, baby. The game that continues to give. Pirate Warriors 4.
Apologies to Pirate
I know
Warriors.
You're excited. I'm excited too. DLC 7 got announced. Lucci CP0 version. And 2 more.
Aegis Zero or Aegis?
Aegis. Well, One Piece uses Aegis. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
And then DLC 8, number 8, Eneru King, and Zephyr. Zed.
As they say. Steve.
2? Incredible. I almost said King Zephyr, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not his name. I keep forgetting there was a character named King.
I always thought that none of us would be suited for like the YouTube instant reaction thing, but you've proven me wrong there. You have it in you. You just choose
really?
not to use
I'm
it.
Dying inside.
I know, that's what
Everything
I mean.
Everything is forced.
Hi, all YouTube listeners. That's what I mean.
Our YouTube friends.
Our friends on YouTube that we love. Yeah, so we got actual news that happened this week beyond that legitimate
that wasn't news. Yeah. But that's like there was a huge portion, I think, of the day one stream where
it was.
My brain left my head like Homer at the
cidery.
The cider mill.
So this is the order of things that happened for those that did not keep up with what happened this weekend. I think the biggest announcement was, first of all, I think we were talking a few hours before, and we were shocked to find out that there was a trailer that actually came out for the live action series.
Yeah, and
neither of us expected that.
Not
clearly.
Not on the podcast, but I was like, Netflix usually drops like a trailer like a month or so out from when something's going to debut. So I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, I was also like, wow. But first of all, the big news, I guess, before even that, Inyaki's Japanese is excellent. Deserves.
Yeah, dude's come a long way in 3 years.
Yeah, like I think my reaction was like, to be a polyglot, like I wish I just had that kind of brain to be able to like speak other languages. He obviously speaks English a lot. Yeah, and time.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, he's trilingual.
At least. We don't know if he knows other languages.
He's teaching Kape Yamaguchi some Spanish too.
Yeah, that was
which is so
funny.
Crazy to me because I don't know. It's just like an American. Like Spanish feels so kind of like it's like like I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Everyone knows como está.
Yeah,
como está. Oh my god.
I'm not even going to try because I want to make.
Muy bien. Oh my god, I'm botching it.
You are not just botching it. You are making all white people look worse, and that's hard to do. I feel like.
No bien.
No.
Muy mal.
You are. I was going to say stop while you're behind, but you are well into the ground at this point. And this is from.
I'm like on a Peggy Hill kind of level.
Yeah, and this comes from someone also whose Spanish is very Peggy Hill level. So, I'm the pot calling the kettle black a little bit. So yes, the big news besides Inyaki's Spanish is that the season 2 trailer came out, and that season 3
it's Japanese.
Season
his Spanish.
Did I say Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the season 3 of the live action series was also announced for a date to be determined in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that has begun filming yet. From any. From anything that we've been seeing. But
yeah, I don't think there's been any indication. Oh my god, my English is bad too.
Okay, at least it's everything.
Indication.
Now I want to hear some of your Japanese. Are you okay, Steve?
Eto.
There it is. Okay, you're fine. Okay. So we should talk about the trailer first. What were your
I think that's
thoughts?
the biggest story coming out of the weekend. Sorry to cut you off. Things I know. I think it was a good trailer. Like, I think like with the way it's been officially titled, it's not so much a trailer as it's the first look, but it feels like
a teaser. I know it's titled. Like,
yeah. We used to, we in Hollywood we call those teases.
Wow, but, even that accent.
Come and see this teaser sometime.
Anyway, Delaney.
So it kind of just like it was highlighting like few different arcs. Like we see a lot of Logtown, we see Twin Capes kind of towards the end, we see Whiskey Peak, actual, the establishing shot of it, little garden, and we get the sense of the scale with like with live action Brogy here, and then a bunch of action sequences that look like they take place at Logtown.
There's
I would say for the most part the reception's been pretty positive. I think that's always been the case with the live action, but it seems like people are excited. I don't think there's anyone being like, oh god, this looks so awful online. Or maybe those people are just keeping it to themselves.
Or we're not.
The focus on this was the Straw Hats fighting and key characters in the next season, I would say.
Yeah.
No drum, though. No drum, no chopper.
That makes sense. I mean, first of all, it's the end. Did they have Arlong in like the early trailers for season 1?
I can't recall, but the fact that the Tudum event was the main focus on there was just showing that chopper clip.
But that's because that was like
maybe they just finished making them right before that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna look different. And I've come around to it a little in that I forgot who in our crew said this, but the idea that Chopper's supposed to look kind of unnerving. To like if it's just an adorable mascot walking around, why would people be reacting the way they do?
You know what? That's a good point. Yeah, I think when people say, "Oh, he's ugly," and I'm like, yeah, I guess if he looked too cute, people will just be like, "Oh no!" It's like, "Oh, are you lost, little reindeer boy?"
Right? Or maybe just people are dicks on Drum Island. But
I mean, Chopper's always been cute.
Yeah,
you kind of just have to suspend your disbelief when you're reading the manga or watching the anime.
I mean, you could be cute, and like if you saw it. I mean, to be fair, like. Imagine that creature in real life coming up to you, and I guess in the One Piece world, it shouldn't be that surprising.
As a true New Yorker, I would just not make eye contact, and I would keep walking.
That's true. Yes, sir. Please carry on with your panacea search.
No, sorry.
Sorry, I don't have any I don't have any mushrooms. I'm sorry. I don't.
I'm walking here.
Yes, that's also what we say.
I don't know. I kind of, I was feeling pretty good after watching this. It, just like, oh, it's like a fun teaser, and it's like, oh, Miss All Sunday, Smoker.
So
all my favorites, they're here.
Yeah, I saw your post. I'm like, yeah, that's the Steve reaction that I would imagine him having at this trailer.
It truly felt like Skinner looking at Star Wars figures.
Although he was looking at like Chewie and Han or someone like very, normal and mainstream. Anyway, yeah, I think my expectations were exceeded by this trailer. First, I wasn't expecting it at all. Second, I think like, especially since it's a teaser trailer that is like, and I'm going to call it that because that's basically what it is. That's like at least 6 months out from the actual final release. I thought this looked excellent. I think I forgot who also in our crew mentioned this, but the things that the One Piece live action does the best is cast and set design. I'd say are probably like two of the best.
The set design is interesting. I don't know. To me, something like the Logtown shots, like Luffy when he does like the Gum Gum Gatling, it just looks a little bare. I don't know.
Well, that might also be...
I don't know. I see like a film set weekly now because of my job, so I'm like, I don't know.
It's at a film set.
Yeah. I peek behind the. I think I peek behind the curtain too much. I know the magician's tricks, so
yeah,
I think I just kind of see that stuff.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I have been to film sets in LA, so like I get it. It totally does look like that, but I also don't think for the layman that would be obvious.
No, it doesn't.
Although now it might be
terrible.
And also,
I think that.
Yeah, go ahead.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was one last thing about the set design is that I know they build those things in like Cape Town, and they put a lot into that. So and I remember they did show around like the Logtown set too. Like if you're building the world from scratch, it does look bare because no one's there. But that might also be it's at night. I don't know. Maybe people don't walk around Logtown.
Too used to gritty New York where there's just garbage on the
Yeah, no, this is a pristine
maybe
European
maybe Logtown's a really nice place.
Yeah. What's a tourist trap?
Live action. Yeah. When you think about it, it's kind of like it kind of I think like pirates were visiting it less and less because of Smoker. Maybe that's more of like an anime filler storyline, but it makes sense. It's a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
But
so what else were you gonna say? Sorry.
I just think like I think the positives outweigh any negative thoughts I have. I don't think the news segment is really a place to just nitpick too much. And it's the problem which we're always going to have because we've been fans for a long time. We just like know what the original source is, but it was exciting to see. Bust of Sengoku in Kong. I saw.
Oh, I did not. Where in that?
Yeah, it's Miss All Sunday when she busts that door down.
Oh, really?
I'm guessing. I have a feeling that maybe that's Logtown. Maybe Miss All Sunday shows up at Logtown for some reason.
I mean, that would make sense.
It's the series trying to justify, bring it like have all these characters do something related to the main storyline.
I get it.
That's Kobe and Helmeppo were showing up all the time.
That was my least favorite part of season 1. Not that they were bad, because I think they're exceptional, particularly like the 3 actors who played Garp, Kobe, and Helmeppo are like some of my favorites. But the writing made it kind of like, okay, we get it. We're watching filler in the live action series. But I'll say, like, my immediate reaction was just like a lot of, I think, is everything that they're trying to get out of the viewer, which is excitement. Which is like,
this is meant to like get immediate reactions. Like, here's a bunch of familiar imagery.
I think the trailer is very well put together as a trailer, personally, more so than I remember the trailers for season 1. Like, I don't I remember still feeling extremely skeptical, and I am still I'm always skeptical because I think, as we noted, because of who we are and what we do. But like, this trailer did allow me to suspend disbelief briefly, at the very least. Like, I think it looked good.
And, it's meant to like attract new fans, but it serves the purpose of making fans like just rekindle their love and then go back and visit stuff. And like, just seeing this, I felt like I love One Piece, and I'd love to go back and reread this stuff and watch it again. So
I am planning on doing at least like a personal reread, hopefully soon, because I miss.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that myself too.
We should do it together. We'll do a reading club that we don't talk about here. A book club.
Let's not monetize it.
No, I think it should just be us.
Sorry, fans.
Yeah, fans don't get anything out of it.
Unless it's like, I don't know, maybe we come up with another Patreon tier or something.
Yeah.
We're just spitballing here.
No, yeah, it's us, our messages back and forth. Oh, can you believe that happened? Yes, and that's it. And that's what you got.
Yes, because we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, actually, it's a terrible example. No, just because I do miss these days in the manga, like these arcs.
Yeah. Especially with the way
it's just so different.
The scale of just the scale of the drama and the weight of the story and the abilities of the characters, which
it's a different
segueing.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
into another story.
Yeah, I think the last thing. I mean, we could talk more about this, I guess, another time. But
yeah.
Oh, sorry to ruin your segue.
I don't see too much more to discuss other than just really dissecting when it's like, I don't know. It's like, we could talk about every stitch in.
We could.
No.
No,
I'm not doing.
I think everything very much impressed me. I was gonna say, and Laboon looked very cool at the end, I thought. And like looked like a proper no joke intended sperm whale.
Yeah. It's a big sperm whale.
Yeah, we're so mature.
A lot of wire stunts I noticed too.
Yeah, the Nami, but there was
Sanji.
No, but I believe that as someone who did Taekwondo, I have not been in the shape to do something like this. But the kick he does, could have. I mean, you could. The Nami
He's got
one
that momentum.
You could do that.
Meanwhile, like Nami and Miss Wednesday are just like.
Yeah, the Nami one is definitely a wire. Yeah. But like, I'm not really thinking. You are too into. You live in Los Angeles too much. It's what that. You know what I mean, though. Like you see.
I guess, yeah. I walk out in the street.
You're there.
I got people on wires, swinging by my head, and I'm like, "Hey, watch it."
I'm walking here.
I got a movie set to go to. Hey.
Okay, Fonz. Yeah, no,
yeah, you have pigeons in New York City. I have
your 5 wires.
I have stuntmen on wires.
How do you walk around like that?
And they all love bread.
What?
Yeah, just throw them a little bit of bread.
Oh, like the pigeons.
Nuts for it.
We love
because like they're starving themselves because they're all ripped. So
they're all ripped and they don't get paid enough, probably. So we love our dehydrated. Yeah, that's the problem. It's stuntcasters, not stuntcasters.
Live action.
People. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming in 2026.
Coming in 2026, season 3, ? I mean, it's happening, but ? Oh, we did talk a little bit about Robin. I did want to, I know it's a nitpick. Are you okay repeating the comment you had on the casting and then seeing her here? Because I do think it's an apt description generally of.
I'm a little okay.
I'll do this.
Do my one nitpick.
Yeah,
I'm a little disappointed with Miss All Sunday because they cast this actress who like this woman with like striking features and black hair, and then it's like they took an actress who looks like Robin, and then dressed her up to look like a woman that's dressed up as Robin. I don't know. It just felt a little too
hat in a hat.
Looked a little too Yeah, it just looked like it was like clearly like they cast her because she envisions Robin, but then I feel like they made her look like a woman that doesn't look like Robin, only to then dress her up back like Robin. I don't know.
I feel like that is the problem with a lot of the cast. Like in that, a lot of the, I don't know, specifically who would be to, point a finger at here. It's not such an important thing. It's a nitpick, as we mentioned. But they like cast everyone, I feel like, looks and is that character, really embodies that character. And then they dress them up like that character in a way that feels over the top with like Nami, I feel like is the best example of that for me. Like it feels like exactly how you just described Ms. All Sunday she is someone who looks like Nami, embodies Nami, I feel like, and then they put her in a red wig and like
maybe it's the wigs. Yeah,
I think it might
be
the wigs. It's like someone who is wig blind, which is a thing he could be.
You just see scalp? You just see bald heads?
Yeah, I see. No, that's X-ray. That's wig X-ray. Like I see through it.
You just don't see the wig. You're wig blind.
No, I think all wigs.
You just see hair tucked up in a fishnet.
No, you're mixing up fake terms that I made up. It's it is. I don't see wigs immediately, even when they're super duper obvious. But that's just.
Oh, you don't see wigs.
Okay, let's move on. That's a segue. Anyway, I am very excited for season 2, and I look forward to talking more about it. I don't think we're gonna do another episode of Opla though until we like know a date certain. I don't really think it's worth even like starting to like go out there and put feelers because I don't know when in 2026 this is happening. I don't have enough content to fill like 7 months worth. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the other thing you were segueing really nicely into, and then I interrupted several times.
It just had to have me
nitpick
dog on live action Miss All Sunday.
That's not her fault.
We got brand new opening and ending for the One Piece anime. And what are their titles?
So we have Carmine or Carmen. I think it's Carmine by L Garden. Steven talked about this last
Carmen
week.
would be like Carmen.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to just like shoot myself in the foot.
Yeah, we've been
actually
it wrong. Carmine. Maybe it's something like that. Carmine. Anyway, Carmine. That's what I did say the first time. El Garden, we talked about a little bit last week with Steven, was like, and if you listen to some of their older songs, which I did a little of before this, I haven't done like a deep dive. They definitely capture like 90s alt / pop rock, like that borderline like era. They felt very, I mean, they're very much not the Pillows, but reminiscent of their trajectory, at least as like artists. It's, you know, they took a big break between like the aughts and a few years ago. And it definitely, Steve, you put it best before I start rambling too much about El Garden. What does this opening feel like to you?
This is the most anime OP that OP has ever had.
It works better in text form, I think.
Yeah, it's funnier in text.
It's funnier on his,
because no one says OP instead of One Piece when they're speaking out loud.
No, not usually.
Yeah, the song, it feels like just like a modern J-rock song. I
like modern J-rock.
I think it's just like, yeah, I think like this portion of the arc, as we know as manga fans, you know, it's very action and drama oriented.
Oh yeah, spoilers ahead for manga.
Yeah,
for
an arc gets dramatic.
No, I meant we're gonna probably discuss them.
Yeah. So I think like this portion of Eiken, they weren't going to do a fun Kitedani song, but to me, that's kind of just like his openings always feel like it just encapsulates like the feel of One Piece no matter what. And this one, I feel like as the years go by, I think One Piece is looking more and more at their classmates' answers on the quiz, and by that I mean other modern shonen anime. Because I don't watch like a ton of anime these days, but I've watched a ton of people's top 100 anime OPs videos as a pastime. And like the little snippets I see of these, it feels very much like other series. And so
the question is, sorry for you that I'm posing at that point, is that good or bad?
It's not a bad thing. It's just something that it's just an observation I'm making. I wouldn't say it's true. It just feels like this is, instead of like it feeling like a unique, like this is like a One Piece opening, it's kind of just like this is an anime opening. Not say it isn't cool. It's just, it doesn't click. The song doesn't click with me.
Well, yeah, go ahead. I want you to get all your thoughts. I don't want to interrupt. Yeah.
It's just like, just talking about the song, it's like, okay. And I don't know the lyrics at all yet, but it's going for a tone and just more dramatic. And I guess it fits it, you know? I can't say it doesn't suit One Piece. It just feels like, it's kind of like what One Day was. And at the time, we kind of like championed One Day for kind of taking itself more seriously during Marineford, especially after the Impel Down opening. So this kind of just feels like deja vu again.
I think like to put ourselves back in 2010, which would be great. I think the openings having like tonal resonance with what's going on was what was important with One Day. I still like One Day. Like I like that kind of music, so I don't have like a particular. I know that I feel like it has moved down in people's books generally. But I think I think it's still a very good opening for particularly for the arc it was encapsulating. And I think look, we have literally a couple of hours between this premiering and us, talking about it right now. And I feel like openings really need time to mature in your mind.
Yeah. Settle.
Yeah. That's a better one. That said, I really enjoyed this opening a ton. Did you have more to say? I want to like hijack it.
That's just my opinions on the song. For the animation, it's slick, it's cool. I do feel old when I think it moves too fast. I think there's a lot of really cool visuals, and I'm like, I don't want them to like flash by so quickly. I want to like take it all in. But I guess maybe that's the whole point, is just repeated viewing. They want you to go on YouTube and watch this in slow motion as I'm doing.
Which I'm doing right now.
Yeah. The later portion, kind of like all these previous scenes being tied together, definitely like the talk of like a dream, because like you get that conversation with Whitebeard, Roger, and Odin, and then it while the camera is like spinning around the characters, and then it transitions to Luffy, Sabo, and Ace, and then Ace and Yamato, and then it cuts to Blackbeard and Jaya real quick. It's Luffy set sail, and then them setting to them doing the barrel, not toast, but when they all put their foot on the barrel and declare their dream. Well, because when Luffy disembarks from
each of those
Windmill Village, he declares his dream, I'm the king of the pirates, and then it's Log Town with all of them sharing what their dream is going to be, heading to the Grand Line, and then it cuts to Blackbeard at Jaya, saying dreams never end. Yeah. And then it cuts to Luffy's point of view, saying what his true dream is, and the Straw Hats reacting to that. That's kind of like a little nice through line there.
That's probably, I'd say, particularly the second half, I think, is or at least like a good chunk of that is like some of the most stellar visual storytelling in an opening I've seen. If that makes sense. For all the reasons I thought. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
Do you think it gives too much away?
So which part? So I mean, we're
just
gonna
like all the stuff that's gonna happen in the arc.
I mean, I'll go through. I do want to go through this beat by beat, if you're okay with that. But
can we keep it short?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to discuss, but
yeah.
No, you go ahead. I'll keep it more brief.
I don't know. I think just like other than that, I'm like, yeah, it's cool animation. It kind of goes by really fast, but I think it looks great. I think it visually, it's not as I think I like that stuff a little bit more, but
that's faster.
Yeah,
though.
There are some stuff that cuts really fast, but I think like it feels like it's part of the intent, because it's like swapping characters, different characters, but they're in the same placement. I think that's cool, as opposed to just here's a scene, here's another scene.
Yeah.
I might be contradicting myself, but I feel like the visuals that when Us first came out stuck with me a lot quicker than they did with this one, because it was very quick.
Okay.
I don't want to just like talk in a circle and just keep saying the same thing.
Okay, so I'll interrupt now for real.
Sure.
I think I'll start at the last point you made. I think Us was like revolutionary in how an opening for One Piece could look. Like So this is a pretty good time to talk about our ridiculous bracketology that we've been doing on our little crew Discord. I'm trying to pull up what we ended up deciding, but like us won that bracket, and the thing I always think about with us being like a particular just like real like pinnacle of visual, as I said, visual storytelling and openings in One Piece is when I think one of the things you said after it came out, like it got me interested in drawing, like watching it, like not that you don't do that all the time, but like it like really, that opening for artists and non-artists, I think alike, really sparks something within you. Not just, it's like the combination of the Kitadani-isms in it, the fact that it like reaches into the distant past of One Piece and the distant future as readers and watchers. I think it does in a much more masterful way than anything we had seen before it. Hands down, not hands up. Sorry. And I think that's really why it sticks in like the psyche of One Piece fans. I'm gonna say personally, like the era of the anime we've been in, certainly since Wano, but particularly since the return of the shorter openings, have like completely, revolutionized and pumped like a completely new blood into opening and ending themes in particular in the anime. Like they really feel like they've, to me, generally been on a completely different level than what you've seen since like the very beginning of the series, where like
compared to like 10 years ago.
No, like 20, like, so
yeah, no, but I think like 10 years ago, I think kind of
yeah, I know
visuals and the One Piece anime openings were like an all-time low, I would say.
Yeah, you're right. 10 years ago, like Hard Knock Days and that era. We can. Wake Up I don't like, but the visuals I guess are like a little bit better than, anyway.
No, I don't know.
They're bad though. But, in my point of view. But like
but it's good. Like I don't think this is like bad. It's just like, okay, this one was this one was an immediate lightning bolt up my ass.
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
I think so. What I was saying, all that, like the first 6 openings of One Piece, believe I have, I'm a little wishy-washy about it, but like the other
I think
5,
I think with more as time goes on is just like aging the worse.
Yes,
for
it is very of its time, but yes,
I just think they used it too early, and then
too long.
They held on to it for far too long.
But like, even if
gripes against it,
even taking that context of it aside, it's still kind of a mediocre opening, I think. Believe, personally,
I mean, there's some clip show stuff in there.
But what I meant to say is, We Are, Hikarie, Bon Voyage, Kokoro no Chizu, Brand New World, like those are all like some of the best we had certainly seen up through us. And like, I don't feel like, did any opening really touch those between, like, maybe we go like, but I'd be like hard pressed to think of anything that like really got close.
It's subjective.
Yeah, no,
because
this is all my opinion. It's no.
Sometimes we're outliers because like we love like We Are and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but people don't particularly. There's some people that don't care for it. There's like Kokoro no Chizu. I feel like newer fans probably don't think much of that opening, when that felt like that was such a revolutionary opening.
That was
I just think it's a great song.
And having rewatched these when we did our brackets on our Discord recently, I was like, Kokoro no Chizu, that holds up. Like that is just the closest to like these kind of openings we've been getting over the last few years. But just done in the, what year was that? 2006 or 7?
That's 2005.
5? Well, there you go.
Maybe late 2004.
That's pretty crazy because it is
2005. No, it's 2005.
It is gorgeous in an era where what, like animation.
It was their first time in HD. They
right.
Had to.
Yeah. They it's just kinetic in a way that like these last 3 openings are.
You want to talk about the ending?
I would. Well, I never got to talk about the opening. We were talking about old openings.
Really? It seems like we've been talking about it for.
I'll keep it quick. But... I really love this song, because this is like my kind of jam. And it's already been stuck in my head all day, and that's usually a good sign. I feel like. I'll say the last opening like took a little time to grow on me and like really moved up in my ranking of like I don't have one that I should be keeping one, but like it's probably like what is it, Angel and Devil? It's probably in my like top 5 openings at this point. Wow. Like it's very good, emotional. The knocks against it, I think, is just the Straw Hats are not in, they're not the focus at all. But I get it again, it's like the context for its time. This one is gorgeous, I think. The visuals, while kinetic, this is like the one opening I feel like I could have done with a longer opening, actually. Like I could have done it 2 minutes.
Yeah, it does feel short.
Yeah.
It does feel short.
It's because there's a lot. But like I think it really fits what this portion of Egghead is all about. Where it's like the One Day era of Marineford, where it's that like fraught chaos, and raw chaos. So I'll leave it there to say my initial impressions of it are very high.
Well, the full song is out on like
Spotify,
iTunes,
and iTunes. Yeah.
Spotify, and is it still iTunes? I don't even know anymore.
Apple Music.
Yeah,
you forgot Apple Podcast.
So maybe like I'll listen to the song more and see if it sticks with me, because like I couldn't hum the melody for you if I could right now. To me right now it's a visual spectacle.
Yeah, I think my favorite parts of the last few openings, but of us in this one, are those moments where they interweave different scenes. I don't know what that would be called in animation, but like the stuff with all of them watching Vegabunk's message, and the ones where, and particularly the scene. I think my favorite things, I'll make it very quick, is Gear 5 Luffy literally bouncing off the screen. Someone pointed out, and like I do like, my favorite thing about Gear 5 Luffy is like him literally fourth walling it, which I think we've talked about a lot. So there's a lot of that in this opening. I like this opening, I think, does Gear 5 more justice than most. I think the stuff with like Emu and Vivi is gorgeous. And the Shanks / Kobe dragon stuff is like, that's a visual spectacle, with like leading up to Roger and the fast and the time lapse kind of looking thing. And then the part that you mentioned with all the dreams, I think is just a real like stunning visual storytelling moment within this opening. Is it perfect? No, but it like scratches a lot of itches I personally have with anime openings. And I like anime openings generally. So like I feel like this fits into that canon more than One Piece ones. It reminded me of FMA Brotherhood openings on a lot of levels, which I think is a compliment for me. But even though it's not One Piece-y, it definitely does scratch that. Let's talk about the ending.
Okay.
Steve.
And the ending.
And then we're done.
The ending is called Punks, and it's by Chameleon Lime Whoopie Pie, and they sing about punks, and you can't have any party cake because you're punks.
Is it Chameleon Lime Whoopie?
Oh, it's Whoopie Pie.
Oh no, Whoopie Pie. No,
I just see pie. No, it's Whoopie Pie.
Yeah, Whoopie Pie.
Did I say Whoopie Pie?
No, I did.
Whoopie Pie.
I'm tired.
Pie West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider. God nada.
Oh God.
Endings are always a little more low energy. This one's it's all the Vegapunks chilling in a room that's definitely furnished by IKEA with books and figures, and they're watching the TV, and It's cute because they all have like their different kind of reactions that fit their personality. I don't know what kind of genre you would describe this song, but it's
I really, yeah, I won't say anything. I don't know what genre
it's a bit more. Techno, I don't even think is a term used anymore, but it's just more like kind of.
I could look them up.
Electron. I don't know. I don't know. This feels very.
Feels like not auto, but that genre. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah,
J-pop. It's J-pop.
It's J-pop, but it's more like.
According to this, it's J-pop. By this, I mean the internet.
Chill. It's more like.
It is.
Feels more like techno cafe chill. I don't know.
Ooh, you just invented a new YouTube channel.
But they're watching Nika on the TV, and then they put their hands up to the screen to feel it, to feel the power of I should have said Luffy, but feel the power of Nika. But then Lilith wakes up and she's all alone as an apple rolls up to her big egghead boots.
I did mention. I did forget to mention. Yeah, go ahead.
I like the macaron pillows.
But, yeah. Such weird.
I don't know. There's the. I don't know. Say your piece.
That was such a weird comment. The macaron pillows. Sorry, I'm just. I want to say the opening and ending reminded me how much I don't like the egghead outfits. Generally. I think they're stupid for the most part. I think Vera and I had a bonding experience about how much we didn't like those outfits when they were originally introduced. I think it's just I like this song. This one didn't get stuck in my head as much, but it is like it's a good beat and it's more upbeat than most endings are. I think most endings have, I feel like, a little not somberness, but like gravitas, like to them. I'm thinking of the last few, like
more tranquility.
Yeah, like Raise, the one
that there's supposed to be like a cool down,
right? This feels like more of a chill out than a cool down. As you went, what do you call it? Chill techno beats to.
I say it's a cool down. I say it's a chill out. Cool down, chill out, cool down, chill. Yeah, I don't have as many, I don't have too much to say about it. It's like, it's fun, it's probably, you got the Vegapunk satellites for now. You might as well use them.
I love the satellites. I want to say that. I think they're all fun. And I've really grown to love Pythagoras a lot, and poor guy. And plus, I know. Well, I won't spoil anything, but I do enjoy that there is like kind of an emotional hit at the end. There is I won't say nice, but it I think it brings a little more to it. I think other than that, it is a lot of fun. I like the VHS-y look of the whole thing. I think it tonally and totally fits this arc in One Piece. It's fun. I think it's a good fun ending. And I don't think we've had any. I mean, the last ending I feel like is a truly forgettable. It's good, but like,
no, I like the previous ending.
I think it's good. I just don't remember. I'm not going to remember it. I don't think in a few years. Like, it's not going to be one of the ones that stick out to me. Maybe that's just me. Like, this one I don't know yet, and I'll see. But right now I really like it. No, I guess we have just different opinions on these things, Steve, and we're gonna have to be okay with
that. But speaking of animation, the whole kit and caboodle, we got one more news story to get out there. Also announced at One Piece Day. One Piece Heroines is getting an anime adaptation.
That's true.
No further details other than that. I haven't read those yet. I know Viz has put out some translated versions. I should seek those out and read those. So I already know the story.
I really like the person's art, and I have no other.
Oh yeah, that's
comments.
Used. Name escapes me, but we've seen those illustrations throughout the One Piece magazines. Always get a kick out of them.
Can I segue there? Because I don't have much to say about heroines other than it's very cool. I'm happy that it's
it's cool
happening.
that we're getting. Yeah, but
the two of
take
us
it away.
But the segue I have is that there's a new One Piece magazine coming out. Almost forgot. I almost forgot. One Piece Magazine 20, which includes a photo of Luffy in basically Oda's chair at Shonen Jump. And
it just reeks of like How I Made My Millions.
How did Luffy make his millions?
Street,
a little bit. But anyway, it's supposed to include a lengthy Oda interview. Lengthy. That was the term that was used.
Girthy.
How could you? To our friend Oda, who has never said something like that before.
Get that magazine to Stephen Paul's stat so we can talk about it. I'm sure there's going to be some juicy morsels.
Send it to him before it comes out so he could start working on it. Yeah, like I am it's been a while since we've had like a proper, I know we had the fan letter one, which we really haven't gone through, but it's just like a very nice art book.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we'll go through that during one of the upcoming breaks. But we haven't had like a proper magazine in a while, it feels like. I don't remember when 19 came out. I mean, I suppose I could just Google it right now.
That's neither here or there.
But I'm very
looking forward
excited
to that.
Yeah. It was the Laughing Moth. That's the one it was in December. Wow, it's almost been a year. Because this one comes out on October 3rd. So there you go.
On Amazon Japan.
Yeah, this is the time to do that.
Don't be left out.
We talked about Pirate Warriors 4. That was the big news, obviously. English cast dub announcements.
Though some of them had been announced prior.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Toei's posting some cast announcements on their socials, so go check that out. And then like the next batch drops on this coming Tuesday.
Yeah,
on Crunchyroll.
Excited.
Those.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Yeah, is that those are the big post? Fan. Those are our post time skip episodes after that few months.
It's coming out. It's the episodes coming out after the hiatus.
Right. So it starts where
no word on fan letter.
That's interesting. Maybe they're doing a theatrical release or something. I wonder if
that's a big
for a 30-minute thing. That's a big guess. I like big guesses. Then I could be wrong in a bigger way. And two last things, but they're little. There are two videos that came out. One was the One Piece Day. What's the name of the spin-off series? One Piece Love or something? I forget the name of it.
With the One Piece fans.
Yeah, with a very ripped Alex. Basically, is a Django fan. It's one of the other three.
Yeah, it's shorts that they've been doing these shorts on the channel, One Piece in Love.
Okay.
They did one based on One Piece Day, and it's subtitled. Go check that out on the channel.
It's entertaining, I think, at the very least. I think it's
only if you're a One Piece fan.
Yeah, or if you're a fan of One Piece Day particularly. And then, probably more consequentially, Oda is in a video from Netflix about the new Lego sets, which we've talked about and have not yet purchased. Have you purchased them, Steve?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
I know people that purchased them, but
good for
in the middle of a move, so I am not buying Legos.
And I need to buy Legos. And they're actually I think relatively affordable sets for Lego. I know they
look cool.
Yeah.
Oda's excited. I think that's why we're on break. He's fucking building those.
Yeah, he's just building those right now. Let's be honest. Anyway, that's it. Lots of fun news, as we mentioned. I think that's all of it.
Yeah. Now, we're going to pass it on to Sam and me.
Whoa.
Doing the anime double anime recap.
A double recap or just double anime?
Catching up.
Yeah.
Double anime recap.
Okay. Good.
Take it away, me.
Okay. Have fun, Steve and Sam.
This is the double anime recap for episodes 1137 and 1138. I'm your host, Sam, and today with me we have the Monkey Zone, Steve Yurko.
Hey, I'm the Stevie. People say I Stevie around, but I'm too busy saying all my Stevie sounds that I say. I don't play music.
But do you write your own songs?
God, no. I don't even write my own material. This isn't even my own hat.
So we're still catching up. I believe if we are able to stay on schedule for next week, we'll be caught up next week. But we're doing doubles until we can catch up. So we're doing 1137 and 1138, covering the fresh off of the Kuma flashback and into Saturn versus Bonney and friends. So we have 1137. I'm sorry, Dad. Bonnie's tears and Kuma's fist. And there is they save the opening for this episode for
cold open.
The end. We get a cold open, and we get a lot of 2.35 to 1 widescreen aspect ratio.
I like how that's the anime's way now of showing that this took place in the past. Is now
sometimes that's how they do it.
It's a new thing though they've been doing though. It's, to me, I'm still like 90s video game brain, so when I see the letterbox, I'm like, oh, a cutscene is happening.
But, yeah. with the but it's like slightly displaced up so it can fit the subtitles.
Right.
Yeah, so we open the cold open, and it's Bonney emerging from the room where she was just watching Kuma's memories. And her nose is very red, and she's sniffling, because she's been crying.
I hope so.
Kuma, or not Kuma, but Vegapunk is kind of back against the wall, kind of slouching in the corner, legs spread.
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
Yeah, whatever it is, I didn't do it. And
he doesn't say that. It just kind of feels like might have seen a lot of things in there.
Now listen. Yeah, so she's slowly approaching Vegapunk, who, she had been violently combative towards throughout the arc. But as she's approaching him, she's shrinking, turning into her normal child self. Until she's finally shrunk down, she falls into a hug, and she hugs him. Sort of an apologetic, emotional hug. And that brings us to the title card of the episode. And now Vegapunk is like, oh, by the way, your dad entrusted me with a 10th birthday gift that I'm supposed to give to you. And so it's a necklace with a sapphire jewel in the middle. And, which is evocative of, obviously, the sapphire scales.
And also the sun. It looks like
the sun. Yeah, I mean, I guess blue is not exactly the sun's
That's the thing. At first,
mind.
I'm like, it kind of looks like the sun, but then they mentioned, like, yeah, it looks like the sun. Like, specifically the one particular one we see, I think, in a lot of imagery in the series where it's, the main circle and then, like, a bunch of other circles surrounding it.
Mm-hmm. And this inspires Bonney to, do the Nika dance for Vegapunk. So we get a Vegapunk fills Bonney in on everything that she had missed. My sense of like where this is taking place in the story, timeline wise, is kind of all over the place. But he's catching Bonney up to whatever she was missing when she was in that room. And back in the present, now we're actually in the present. And Bonney is still being held in the hand of Saint J. Garcia Saturn. And we're cutting around to the different islands, reacting to the newspaper, which is talking about Luffy taking Vegapunk hostage and a buster call surrounding the island. And it's a buster call that is greater than even the one on Ohara. We have a scene at the Kamabaka Queendom Dragon is asking, because they had Kuma a moment ago, but Kuma went running. And Dragon is asking Ivankov, so if you were Kuma, where would you go? Like, let's hypothesize and imagine that Kuma had some willpower, some natural instinct left. Like, where do you think he's going?
If I was a Kuma, where would I be?
If I was a Kuma, where would I be? And Ivankov says, well, if it were me, I'd be storing Mary Joa. But I don't think Kuma would do that. I think he would be. And then, like, conveniently, a big kind of gust of wind comes up from behind, and the camera kind of follows it up to the sky and the swirling sakura petals, which fade into Bonney back on Egghead. And, Saturn is kind of talking shit. He's like, well, why don't you go meet your father in the afterlife? He is, for all intents and purposes, dead. And Bonnie's shouting, screw you! And she does, she's winding up for a big punch like she did against Alpha. The distorted Nika-like future. But she falters, like this big buff arm that she made is still, she seemingly doesn't have the strength to actually swing with it. And Saturn.
But so much she makes like contact with Saturn, but just does nothing. I think maybe, yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, oh, was this like the clearest way of depicting that? Because it does kind of hit his face, but then kind of just, flutters back.
Mm. And Saturn's thinking to himself, it's like, okay, so she hasn't made the connection between Nika and Straw Hat's white form.
Mm-hmm.
What a shame. Which is interesting. Why is that a shame to him?
I think he was being a little not he was being facetious, because maybe it's like, oh, if he saw, if she saw Luffy in that form, she'd maybe be more like she would be more powerful, maybe, like she would like actually.
But he clearly doesn't want her to be powerful.
Yeah, but I like I said, I think he's being facetious. He's like, oh, what a shame. He actually saw what Nika does look like. You could probably be, more formidable. But
he's got that Goku spirit when you think about it. And so now he's telling her, Bonney, that power of yours is something I gave you. Dun dun dun. And that brings us to the eye catch of the episode. And we come back, and Saturn's kind of repeating himself for the audience while we get this like POV shot of Kuma flying over the ocean, and we're anticipating it. We know he's coming. And Saturn is explaining how her devil fruit powers were an experiment to see if they could feed a devil fruit to a newborn baby who doesn't have the ability to eat fruit. Like, well, if we they're basically turn it into a fruit extract.
Yeah, little Gerber.
Yeah, I mean, we know that you just need the tiniest little nibble of a fruit to get the power.
It's just, this read so, and I forget if I made this joke when we covered in the manga years ago, but just feels so Emperor Palpatine. It's like, it was I that gave you the devil fruit.
Yeah. And
he's really got to double down on Saturn being a bastard. Not that he already isn't, but like really, going.
So the nature of the age fruit is lets you become any potential future version of yourself, but as you learn about the real world and as you become more pessimistic, your potential weakens. The possibilities are not endless as you learn more about the real world and what's possible.
He also said it's useless, which made me wonder. I'm like, oh, is this like? I'm curious if they thought like, oh, is this devil fruit any special because of possibly this immortality thing? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of like the op fruit, but they're like, nah, it doesn't do the same thing, so screw it.
It seems like it's the more Delulu you are, the more useful it is. And so she, you haven't heard that word?
No. Does that have anything to do with Labubu?
It's just a funny way of saying delusional.
Oh.
You're Delulu.
Carry on.
So she's getting weaker because she's losing her belief in Nika. And so also the sapphire scales were part of drug experiments that he was doing on her mother. And
who was the 8th wife of a noble, by the way.
She was the 8th wife of a noble, just in case we thought she meant something to him.
Just more and more daggers, just like...
A man so unimportant that even Saturn doesn't know his name, apparently.
Yeah.
Or does not feel it's necessary to
Who knows? You never know with One Piece now. It could be years later we find out, it was a very important character. Yeah.
Vegapunk is getting his word in. He's trying to tell Saturn off for torturing this family. It's like, and you knew I was doing all this work to cure them, and yet this was a disease that you inflicted on them this whole time. That's so horrible. How could you do this to this family? And Saturn's got a pretty crazy line here where he's saying, "Put yourself in my shoes. Could you concern yourself with the feelings of insects? Empathize with me so that you can understand why I don't need to."
I have it rough too,
Yeah. So now Kuma is crash landing on the island, on kind of the outer edge where there's like the foresty bits, and the Marines they're helpless to stop him. They're all trying to shoot at him, trying to stop him, trying to get the word back to boss that Bartholomew Kuma has arrived. And Kuma's just crashing through it, shooting laser beams with his mouth, blowing up buildings. And it's not clear if like Bonney is overhearing any of the word about Kuma showing up at this time. But she's just so kind of emotional. She's starting to sob. She's too afraid to speak out anymore. And this is kind of intercut with Kuma making his charge into the center of the island. Just getting blasted and his shirt bravely unbuttoning open. As Bonney is thinking to herself, she's basically writing a letter to Kuma now in her head, saying, "Hey, Dad, I feel like I'm falling apart. Maybe it'll be easier if I just die now." And she's wailing, and Kuma's emerging from the smoke, and she's like, "I'm sorry, Father." Saturn is starting to crush her even tighter in his hand. You hear the bone cracking, and he's like holding her up and telling the Marines to shoot her in the head. And then all the Marines in the area ready their sights just in time for Kuma to show up, and has his little Terminator lock on to the guns, and he's able to blast them away.
I thought it was gonna be more of like a precise kind of just like laser that just like shoots, like just destroys the guns, where he just fucking blows all these guys up.
Yeah. Saturn tosses Bonney to the ground. He's like, "Oh, fine, I'll do it myself." And he's like, got his like crab leg pincer thing.
Pincer, yeah.
He's gonna jab her with his foot. And then just in time, silence. No stabbing some stabbing has happened, but not to Bonney. And Bonney is looking up, and her vision is clearing. And she's seeing her dad has scooped her up and has blocked Saturn with his back. And Saturn's foot is like jammed right into Kuma's like shoulder blades. He pulls it out, and there's blood spurting, but also like mechanical sparks. And he tries to stab again, but Kuma catches it with his hand, which is super cool. And Saturn is just in disbelief. Like, how is he doing this? How is he not? How did he not blow up from the self-destruct switch? How does he still have a semblance of free will? Bonney is now just back to her pure child self, crying as Kuma gets he readies his big punchy. And so we get this big kind of fancy, super long wind up. Kuma pushes it right into his face. It goes black and white, reminiscent of Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon. It doesn't quite go as like sketchy and graphic as that one did.
No, yeah, it like almost hints at that, but then it dials it back.
Yeah, I like in mid contact as like the fist is like burying itself into Saturn's face. Like Saturn's eyes have to like open up and like get serious. Like he's like kind of trying to fight back, but he gets just completely blown away and crashes through some buildings. Now Kuma and Bonney have been reunited as the opening credits song plays in with an L cut, and then that leads us into the end credits, which is using the opening song, and the visuals are mostly a montage of Bonney and Kuma memories from all the flashback episodes we just watched.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's done, there's like one more shot of like Kuma like post punch, just sort of just kind of standing there like just like and then to be continued. 11:38. Thank you, Dad. Kuma and Bonney's warm embrace. And I have written much fewer notes for this one because most of it is not an episode.
It's like half an episode.
Yeah, so like there's like a good 3 minutes of just Kuma like lumbering towards Bonney, and like the rest of the crew just sort of watching him. And then finally he does reach Bonney, and they reunite, and Bonney is telling him like, "Oh, I saw your memories, Daddy. Oh, I saw it. Mommy is such a great person. Oh, you're the coolest, greatest daddy in the world." And like Kuma's just kind of silent. He's still sort of robotic in his demeanor. But this is intercut with just like long clip shows of again the flashback episodes that we already saw. So we re-flashback.
This felt so unnecessary.
Yep, they were buying time. They're like, well, we gotta put this somewhere. And
like we couldn't get like chibi versions of any characters maybe to talk about,
right?
Something else for an episode. It was
yeah, it's always fun when they have to like recap the little flashback
that just happened.
That you just watched.
Yeah, I was a little bummed when I saw this. I was like, oh, Toei, this is old Toei. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I feel like it cheapens the flashback a bit. Like, doesn't ruin it, but like, and they've done this a bunch before. And I was like, yeah, we just saw this, and I'm pretty sure there was even like flashbacks in that flashback. I don't know. It felt so unnecessary because it's kind of like, yeah, like maybe this was like Wano did something like this, but it's more like, yeah, you kind of got to remind the audience, like, where we came from, but like we were just there.
Give us like 10 episodes of separation at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that brings us all the way to the eye catch of the episode. So we come back from the commercial break, and now there's a big black lightning storm erupting from where Saturn flew off, and everyone around is like reacting like, "What? He's alive?" Which is apparently the biggest shock in the world that a person in One Piece can survive a punch. And yeah, so very spry. Saturn jumps back into action. He like jumps out of the rubble, and he lands. And he's very bloodied. Somehow his arm got torn off, and there's just like this big gooey blobs of blood gushing from his arm. And he's like, Vegapunk, I want an explanation for this. And Vegapunk's like, would you believe me if I said it was the power of love? Because that's what I've got for you. I'm sorry.
Like it is kind of crazy, and I think some people like would criticize this and be like, "Oh, come on! Like this was it Deus Ex Machina? No. Is that
Deus Ex
most
Machina?
appropriate?
Well, Deus Ex Machina is when like just fate intervenes and just fixes the problem for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this isn't quite fate, but I think I kind of like that this happens to take place during the science arc, and the most brilliant scientist is like, "You got me, brother." It's like, would you take, broken heart as the answer?
I feel like that's definitely the story we've been leading towards, which is like for all intents and purposes, he has lost his free will. He's lost his humanity. He's basically dead, and yet that humanity still exists. And even the scientist who's supposed to have a scientific explanation for it can't.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just give in to the narrative conceit.
That's why I actually like it. I kind of like that the fact that the characters are acknowledging it, like these two scientists, really, because same with with Saturn here. So I kind of like it. Yeah.
Yep. There's the humility of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturn is regenerating, so that's something he can do. Saturn's going for another kill, but Sanji is jumping in and kicking. Frankie's jumping in and doing a big radical beam. And he gets one in on Saturn. He
gets
his
right
beam like pierces right through it. But then Kizaru is like, "Well, I guess I gotta do my job now," and he shows up.
Clock in. Lunch break's over.
Bathroom breaks are time theft.
The world government would say that.
So Vegapunk is now telling Sanji and Frankie, like, go focus on Bonney and Kuma. I'll give I'll give these young whippersnappers a talking to. And he's now Vegapunk is kind of calling Kizaru out, like, oh, so you don't even have the heart to go kill him now. And Kizaru's saying, like, yeah, like how sad and pathetic I must be. I should have worn a darker pair of shades, as he's like adjusting his glasses. And you're like watching him, like, is there gonna be like a little teardrop coming out or not? But
waiting for it. But it's just a precaution.
He just knows it's just showing on his face. Even though he keeps a good poker face. And now the Marines are all giving each other various orders, and Vegapunk is shocked to learn that a buster call is coming, and Saturn is like, well, I mean, yes. We have those who study the secrets of the world here. We have those who carry the blood of a lost race. We have those who have awakened an ancient god. This island is full of inconveniences. Dun dun dun. To be continued. General thoughts on these 2 episodes, Steve?
Real emotional heading into the Kuma punch, for sure. I found myself welling up again when Kuma got to the island. But the punch wasn't like the most cathartic thing, I'll say. I don't know how it was for you, but I kind of felt like, I don't know.
I thought it was fine. Like, if we're comparing it to the Luffy punch, no, it's not going to go down in history like that one.
I think maybe it's just expectations.
The manga version definitely like, kind of made you feel like it's supposed to hit that hard. But also, like, I imagine, like, maybe if I wasn't thinking about it too hard or wasn't expecting too much, like, if I was just marathoning through and got that big long flashback, that I think that punch still would have been very satisfying.
For sure. Like, not like it still like was good, but I think I was like, oh, like I was feeling more emotion when Kuma like arrived at the scene. Like I felt like that was like some powerful stuff.
Yeah, him was sort of like desperately running, the music sort of swelling, and you're sort of trying to get a grasp on like the robot Kuma versus the human Kuma.
How do you feel about the opening playing as the credits?
I thought that was fine. I'm generally a mark for that Like that's a very easy point for me.
I think maybe because I knew it was coming, I was kind of like, oh, okay. I don't know. I don't think I hated it. It was definitely kind of, it felt, like I felt the intent. Like I felt like, oh, this is supposed to be emotional and all that. So, just like and that's the thing. That first episode ended with a clip show. So then for the following episode, to still have a clip show.
That makes the second episode's clip show like more disappointing.
Yeah.
Because if they just left it at that, with the Kuma and Bonney montage, and
then moving on.
Yeah, like just like a little send off to this little like mini arc that we just went through.
For sure. Yeah, I think the second episode was like the first bust in a while. It does have some good moments, but I was kind of just like, oh, you guys are. I guess you're catching a breath, because I guess you guys want to go all out for something in the future.
Yeah, they're pacing themselves for later and for
Luffy,
what we just saw, and
yeah, Luffy's about to recover, so I think they really want to make that special. So can't say I was a big fan of the second episode, but I think the first one was pretty damn good.
I agree. Anything else you'd like to say before we move on to the next segment?
No, that'll do it.
All right. Thank you, Steve. We'll catch you next week.
Catch you then.
And we're back for the SGS segment, where we take your questions and your comments and your theories and whatever you happen to ask. This is, like I said in the previous episode, there's a very short window between announcing that we were going to have an SGS this week and actually, giving people a chance to submit a question. So we do not have any on Discord, but if you would like to ensure that you have some questions in, if you are a Patreon member and you go on our Discord, the One Piece Podcast Discord, there will be a special section for the Patreon members that includes a Grand Fleet chat channel. We got Dispiece for the regular episodes, and then we have a special SGS channel where you can always dump those questions. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be contemporary. It could be old stuff. We'll take whatever question as long as it's classy. Let's keep it nice and above the board here. So instead, the questions we have here are from Twitter and Blue Sky using the hashtag SGS Sensei, all one word. And so here, a recent one from our friend Champagne Bala OP has his list of very short questions. So we'll go through them here and let's see what he's got to ask. Most likely moment we get faces for Emu and JB, Joy Boy, and what do they look like? Well, you did mention that we might have a hint about Emu in the photos of recent promotional materials. But
that's for Joy Boy.
Yeah.
No, Joy Boy's.
What are you thinking?
Yeah. I had so many ideas at one point, but like the concept of Joy Boy and like Nika and like which one is rich, which one is which was such a big question for a long time, and like now it's more believed that Nika was a deific idea or concept rather than a real thing. But still there's the chance that yes, it actually was a real thing. And then we have like the very I want to say native looking aspect of Nika at one point. Was that connected to Joy Boy? Was that not? Is that suggested that they have Lunarian blood, but without wings. It really tough.
Yeah.
To say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We did talk about that with the Harley stuff about the Joy Boy figure being in the dark silhouette, and as well as in all the other sort of like mythological representations that we've seen, which does seem to be a thing that Oda is consistent about. So that seems like a good theory, I think, to keep in mind. Emu
would be interesting if it would be funny if it looked like Luffy. If it's just like
yeah. I mean, Emu, I feel like could be at any time, just because we've had so much more of Mary Joa and of the Five Elders. It could just be any time that Oda really wants like a big shocking moment. He could just pop that in there, same like he did with the rocks reveal, where it's just like, oh shit, there's Emu. Ideally in a more climactic situation, but I would not be surprised if we just kind of get a random shocking reveal.
If he's not holding it back for a final battlefield reveal, then I think good opportunities would either be doing, just as you said, during the climax of this arc, perhaps in doing the conduit body thing, and then seeing the face speaking at Marijoa is one opportunity. And then the other one, aside from a battlefield reveal, would be between this and the next arc. I think that would be a opportune time, because that's usually where we get the big reveals, and I don't think we have too many of them left.
No, not at all. Next one. Well, we've already given you a little preview of this. BB Blackbeard versus Straw Hat matchups, and you've already got one to put down in your book. Book it. Streusen versus Sanji.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of obvious ones, I think, which people have known for a long time. Van Ogre versus Usopp, of course.
Yep.
Very straightforward.
Robin with what's his name? Sanwan Wolf.
Sanwan Wolf. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. She'd have to. It's really nobody else can fight her, because they'd have to be physically larger than her. She can face him because she can now become giant. She stands a chance against him, as with a physical object. And if she has some sort of crazy awakening ability, then perhaps she can make it even larger. So it's literally giant versus like ancient giant size versus ancient giant size.
Nice.
So that's the only one that makes sense, because her other matchup, her other legendary matchup, was against Yama, who was physically larger than her, and she couldn't get around him at the time. So.
God, I'm trying. I mean, I guess Zoro and Shiryu seems like pretty.
So that's
pretty straightforward, right? Yeah.
Who else is Doc Q and Chopper?
Yeah.
I mean, that's another is it 2 on point? And thereby Devin and
Nami.
Nami.
Yeah.
Now you could make the argument that Sanji would go against, Jesus. Because he has always fought against martial artists. And, who knows? Maybe that's how it ends up being, right? But if the Stroisen thing is a thing, then, I mean, that's almost a no-brainer. Right? Yeah. Which would put, I believe, if I'm thinking about everybody correctly, I think that leaves a good opportunity. Frankie to be against fucking what's his name? Oh God.
The drinker? Vasco
no.
Shot?
I think Vasco Shot would have to go against Jinbei because of the liquid aspect.
I'm trying to remember all the other side members. There's Avalo Pizarro.
Unless you go with Vasco shopping against Frankie because of the old like drinking buddy thing, like continuing kind of the what was his name? Not Baby Five, Senior Pink. Like if you continue the drinking buddy thing, then I think that's realistic. But I think if you have someone who is capable of doing like a gut tie kind of mode, which is kind of like, God, what's his name? Who's the cat guy? He says
Avalo Pizarro. Yeah,
Avalo. Yeah. Avalo and Frankie, I think, would make a good pair up because of his ability. And then I think and then Brooke, Brooke is obviously the other paleface, David Bowie. Brooke and David Bowie. I mean, it's fucking. What other choice is there? It makes perfect sense.
Which character?
David Bowie. What's his name? I've called him David Bowie too.
Here. What are the other details?
Oh God, he was the former
Lafitte. Yes,
Lafitte.
Lafitte.
Thank you.
Yes. Jesus.
Thank you.
This is the problem. There are too many Rocks pirates. I can't remember the Blackbeard pirates anymore now. All right.
This is fun for me because I haven't done characters in a while. So like.
All right. Next question. How will Usopp save Elbaf?
Take the sword out of Yarudo's head, or lead to a series of Rube Goldberg type events that get the sword out of the head.
Oh yeah, like the second coming of God Usopp sort of a moment.
Yep,
that would be fun. That would be a lot.
I'm sure there will be some more to it as well. I mean, I'm sure that he will earn it. It has to.
Yes.
Usopp has had.
It can't just be a joke.
Fucking amazing moments in the series, and his last one was in Dressrosa. I mean, that was fucking so baller. And then, of course, the Soga King moment as well. On, I mean, just everything Soga King did, really. But this has to be the best of all of them. So whatever it is, it's got to be fucking good, because this is how he gets his crew. Right? And he's got to do he's got to earn what Buggy got by doing nothing. He has to earn all these followers. Which he will get.
What's the next island if not PI/MJ? I'm assuming MJ is Mary Jo. I don't know what PI is.
Magnum?
Yeah. I'm like Punk Island?
Polestar Island?
Polestar. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was wasn't it Lodestar Island? Or
it's possible, yeah. And maybe that's a fan something. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know the difference anymore. I use Lineage Factor like it's my job, so sorry. No offense. It's just what's the next one? I don't know. It depends. Didn't I make a case for like if they steal Colon, then like it would make sense for them to actually go back to Mary Joa. Like if they're successful in stealing Colon, it actually would be a compelling reason to go backwards. But does going backwards help them go forwards? In what way? Like how I don't see them going backwards because it's just there's so much momentum, and for them to go forward at this point, to go backward would just it seems like it would ruin so much. It seems like the action needs to go forward, and everything needs to coalesce at the other side of Red Line.
Yeah,
where they either go up or they go down, and at this point, it seems to be pointing down. So,
yeah. I don't know. I really don't have much to add on to that one. Next question, Roger.
What about Lone Star Island?
Lodestar?
Lone Star?
Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Like a steakhouse?
I'm sorry, I'm just excited about Spaceballs too.
Okay. All right, next question. Roger Seraphim? Question mark. I guess is is that something that people suspect that Roger would have a seraphim? I don't know why Roger would have a seraphim. Does that make any sense?
Because he was captured by the Marines, so they would have a stock of his blood. Okay.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Were they thinking that far ahead back then to do that?
Yeah,
because they only have copies of the most recent Shichibukai, so
right.
Yeah, I want to say I don't think it's impossible, but
next one. What island will Dragon meet Luffy? That one, I don't know. Could be the final.
I mean,
island.
it's really so vague at this point. I mean, okay, I can answer that, and I don't mean to be facetious. It's just it's at the island that has the most emotional impact, like story wise and reader wise. Like if Dragon just shows up, and he's like, and if he does the Garp thing again, then like there's really no point to it because it's been building up to this for the whole series. So,
yeah, that the tension has been there the whole time to ratchet up since chapter 100.
I mean, do they even meet before the conflict is finished? In which case, would they meet again at Logetown? I mean, that would be
that would be awesome.
Yeah, there's your Log, your Pro, and your Eppa.
Yeah. Who or what island does Vivi, Yamato, or Loki join the Straw Hats?
Same answer as the dragon one.
The dragon one, yeah.
And probably during the final conflict, wherever that may be. I don't see them like showing up and like going on some adventures with them for a while, until after the series is done. But like, yeah, I would see them all popping up at that point. I guess the biggest question at this point is does Loki go with them or not? Does Loki, because like, Loki seems to be relegated to the same position as like a Vivi and a Yamato kind of position.
Yeah.
So does he just, or and Carrot for that matter, and Kidemo, my God. But does he go along with them, or do they meet up later?
Yeah. There was another question. I don't remember if we answered this one or not because the timestamp, this was on Blue Sky. So if you recall me asking this, please tell me. But we had one from bearanchoroak.bsky.social who had said, every island we visit with a kingdom that has that character that remains there to rule after being heavily influenced by these Straw Hats, like Dalton, Vivi, Momo, etc. My question, if Elbaf is still standing, will that character be Loki or Hyrule? Oh, it sounds vaguely familiar enough that we may have answered that, or just like we would have had an answer of like, well, it depends on like if it's a good or a bad outcome or something like that, or there was.
Yes, we discussed this. Yeah.
Okay.
So like just in for the sake of time, I guess, if you want to hear our full thoughts on it, that are probably not clouded by weeks of not thinking about it.
Right.
Then probably the previous SGS, I think would probably be. By the way, this episode should be a drinking game. Every time one of us fucking says SBS about the SGS, somebody takes a shot. Do you realize how many fucking times both of us done this episode? Yeah.
Okay, last question from OP at Champagne Balla was Croc Seraph Devil Fruit. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, because I have not reread Egghead, when we were introduced to the Seraphim and they're talking about the green blood and all of that, was that stating that they had like the blood gave them some kind of devil, like an essence of devil fruit or something like that?
Oh my God, Stephen, it's coming true. The preface that I gave this episode. They can use that ability. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I forgot about that part. There is something that was mentioned about them, like, and isn't it Like they can't duplicate. They can duplicate zones, but they can't duplicate Loki or something like that. I mean that's Smile.
That's probably true.
That's Smile, but there was something
Yes.
specifically about the blood, the green blood is like they can.
He just didn't really do anything with it. That's why I don't remember. Yeah.
This is what I get for losing faith in Oda to have a cohesive story point without pulling shit out of his ass. Is I forget this stuff.
Yeah.
Is a man-made substance synthesizing lineage factor of devil fruit used in order to mimic the fruit's power with the substance itself as both base, medium, and blood substitute. And so fruit's lineage to mimic several paramecia powers. However, due to the fact that it utilized devil fruit, the users still have the same weakness as seen in other substances. Usage. Vegapunk uses to mimic several paramecia powers and use them in the Seraphim project, in other cases which the clone was given the power of a different individual.
Right.
So, okay, I think that's what it is. At this point, we only know for sure that it's paramecia.
Okay.
Or paramythia, whatever.
Paramythia,
yeah. There's stuff going around, so.
All right. Well, in the interest of moving on, I'm going to pick one of the other questions from Blue Sky here. We have one from Paul Scott at chicken008.bsky.social. Says, now that we've seen Gunko Emu's Domi Reversi powers, this is from a month ago, Domi Reversi powers, what do you think of characters like Roger, Whitebeard, and Blackbeard mentioning that the world will be turned upside down? Is the world a game? Will people turn to demons? Are ancient giants demons from when the world was flipped long ago? That's fun. I actually don't. In Japanese, have they actually, has he been using like like something like Sekai ga Hikurikaeru, which would be, literally like flipping over the world. I'm not sure if that's a thing that they've actually said repeatedly, or if that's more like, maybe that was paraphrased in translation, and so it seems like more of a thing in English. But yeah, any thoughts?
You could make the argument that the world has been flipped, right? There's definitely something going on because water is flowing into the world and like it's falling into these holes that are not filling up, and that's
really weird. Yeah, that would be a really cool way to explain that particular mystery. To tie that into something like this.
Yeah. There's definitely something strange in the neighborhood. So who are you going to dendemushi?
Let's dendemushi. let's dendemushi. Alakadabra at alakadabra.bsky.social with our last question. This is a good one. This has been keeping me up at night. Do you think Sabo just lucked out being taken in by a group that also wears top hats and goggles? Or do you think Sabo's fashion sense influenced the revolutionaries' use of top hats and goggles? Now that's a real chicken and the egg question.
That is interesting. I think Sabo influenced Oda to want to use that more. Because if you look at some of the early revolutionary, this is one of the things that's like, I feel very old reading One Piece. When I think of the revolutionaries, I do not think of steampunk. Even though they are very clearly steampunk these days, the revolutionaries were originally animals. It was all animal themed. They had all these like weird animal hats, and everybody was a different animal. And around the time that Sabo joined them, they became way more steampunky. Didn't like the guy that picked up Robin on the bridge, didn't he have like a fucking giraffe hat or something? And there are others who had like rats. And seriously, look at the old Revolutionary, like the very few scenes that we have with them. They all have on like animal hats, and now it's all like they became the steampunks.
Yes, the guy. What was the guy's name with Robin? Something Joe.
Bonney Joe.
Yeah, something like that. It was something Joe.
Yeah, I got fucking Steven. I'm so fucking frustrated right now. I can't remember fucking Lafitte's name, but I got Bonney Joe on fucking speed dial. What the fuck?
I'm gonna write that one down. I was gonna say so the animal thing. We're talking about like the scene. So this would have been like the scene pre Sabo, but like after what, like
let's see, around the time that Jesus Christ, yes, almost exactly
like after Bonar, like with the Bonaro Island and everything.
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty sure it's like right around that time that we see a scene with them, and I think they're like all huddled in the room. And it's not only that, like every time we saw something, one of them is wearing an animal hat, which is why that's my impression of them. And now that they're all steampunk, it's weird to me. But
that's funny. It is funny to see how like Oda has taken like certain concepts for like crew themes, or like, you know, grouping certain characters by a theme, a visual theme of some kind. And then the way that he kind of like either reuses them or modifies them for different groups, like the cards. You know, he's reused card theming stuff so many times, especially in the New World. And then obviously with, you know, you have Kaido's crew, they're animals. Like you can't necessarily double up on that, like a variety of animals, since that's kind of his deal. So yeah, we got steampunk goggles instead. All right, well,
that was fun. Question.
Yeah, that was a fun one. But I think we're gonna round this one out. So we'll take another quick break, and we'll see you in the outro. This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 880 for the week of Monday, August 11th, 2025. Well, there we go. It's been another wonderful and enlightening and sometimes frustrating episode of the SGS. And as always, it would not be possible without my co-host here, Greg. Where can folks find you, Greg? Do you have anything of note to leave them with, to look forward to, or where they can get in touch with you?
I realize this is my least favorite part of doing this every single time. I hate this so much. You can find me on Twitter, Ochimusha108. I write for the One Piece official website, which is in Japanese, but my articles are available in English in VJump, and wherever the wind goes, you can hear me whispering. Luffy Bud.
That's nice. All right. And I can be found over on that Blue Sky site at stephenpaul.bsky.social. And you can follow along with the stuff I'm doing. In addition to One Piece, of course, I talked about in the intro, Akane Banashi is also a great weekly jump series that I work on. And I just finished up Shoha Shoten, the monthly manzai stand-up comedy manga with art by Takeshi Obata of Death Note fame. I had a lot of fun working on that one, and it's a great series. So if you have a subscription to Shonen Jump, you got the Vault, you can read the whole thing there now. 43 chapters or something like that. But they're very long chapters, so you get it. It's a good good meaty read. And as for the podcast itself, you can check us out on our site at onepiecepodcast.com. Follow us on social media. We do still have an account on Twitter that sometimes posts the new episodes, but more frequent over on Blue Sky at onepiecepodcast.com is the username there. That's where we will share the latest news. Adil will post things about anniversaries and so on. You can also find us on YouTube at One Piece Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so on. You can also no longer call us at 347-497-MAJI. That's right. You can no longer call us at 347-497-6254. Do not call that number anymore because it does not go anywhere. But as for this episode, I think that's going to do it. I'm not sure. You're going to be on you're on your summer vacation. But we are going to have more breaks coming up soon, so I guess we will find out what our availability will be for the next time we have an Oda break. But until then, of course, you can always it doesn't have to be just before the episode. You can always send your questions either on Discord or on the hashtag SGS Sensei, which are always fun to go over. And maybe next time I will read all of them in advance and actually look up some of these things so that we can cut down on some of the dead air, because we were stumped on a couple of these, but we'll do better next time. That's the goal. But until then, my name is Steven.
I'm Greg.
All right, and Simba, he's eating dinner now. He's happy. He's no longer whining. Yeah. See you next time, folks.
Laters. Enjoy summer.